from like a high school health book because it looks like the chapter pages of a high school health
No,
book.
no. It's like this it's Adobe, thumbnail maker, something like that. And then they give you like things that you can work with. And so yeah, this is what I use. So this is a spoiler for the next segment, ladies and gentlemen. Just wanted to put that out there.
But while
Spirituality.
RT had us on that subject, it reminds me of something I was saying last night on Sovereign Souls channel, where we were talking about how we're all dealing with the forever chemicals, the radio waves, the various types of frequency waves in the air. Um, you can mentally go through that easier if you remember that a lot of us still seem to be getting our average 75 years, give or take. And while we are developing the cancers and the heart issues, it's the stuff we're putting ourselves isn't dramatically killing us off that early unless you think about uh, unpopular, tyrannical, pokey things. But I mean, as far as just like, yeah, you want that cell phone, you're dealing with the cell phone signals, you want the Wi Fi, and you're dealing with the Wi Fi. You like the Big Macs, and you, with moderation, might eat some Big Macs. Man, if you can fool yourself 75, 80 years, you're still doing good. If you don't get your whole experience in 75 years, you're probably already doing it wrong. And they are saying that the first person to live to like 180 is probably alive today.
I guess you could agree.
It's like, okay, here's the real clincher. Like this thing that's called a V word in your poke, it's not actually your classic V word. It's that mRNA thing. And that is the same thing that as our lifespans are like extended and we make these jumps in science about our health, it's all going to be uh, based on that mRNA. Like it has a lot of uses that I feel like we're also guinea pigging for in real time. But the mRNA is the foundation of extreme advancements in science and healthcare.
I'm just
Did
reading
that
the
say
live chat
Mitch
here.
is live streaming? Because the last time I saw him live stream, I was fearing for his safety against a man and his girlfriend. You might want to restream that just to keep an eye on him. I like Mitch.
Yeah, something's happening there. Is it about Mitch?
That Jeep Girl post I thought you had up on the screen. I
Yeah,
thought, I mean,
yeah.
I didn't
Okay,
read, I
she's
didn't
she's
catch the
talking
whole
about
thing.
Mitch. Champ
Yeah, it
is
looked like
Mitch.
she said
Okay.
he was streaming right now.
Right.
I
I don't
forget
know.
where I was. It was either on, I forget what channel I was on where we were watching his stream last night, and it was coming in
Probably
choppy. But
Benton's.
yeah, I was very sure that that was a couple, and I was very sure he was aggroing them with whatever
No,
questions.
I was watching that live. The couple were cool. You know, they
Well,
actually,
they were taking
you know.
turns holding each other back and pointing in his face, Rob. Like I knew they were composed enough not to strike him because I was like, well, if they've stayed here this long, they're interested and they're not walking away. So I didn't think they were going to hit him, but they were heated. They were pretty like passionately going back and forth. And he had that girl doing the chihuahua like and I was like,
Man,
I
that
can't
bitch
listen to
was,
this.
excuse
Yeah.
me, that broad was fucking yapping. She would, and the way she would tell her dude to grab his face and told her dude to be quiet and let
Oh,
me
that was
talk, or
on
hush, hush.
Pineos. Yeah.
I was like,
Because I remember
wow.
saying, that girl that sits in the gamer's chair and does the bong hits. Yeah, I remember referencing that I've seen girls like her put a pitcher of beer into the face of girls like that and like knock them out. Like I've seen girls knock girls out at bars like that. And it's because one of them was like, so just for technical troubleshooting, what picture do you guys see on my square right now? Is it my zombie picture or my Illumitomi picture?
The same one that's been displayed every time we've seen you. You with the yellow eyes.
All right, because see, Christos told me in the back chat that he didn't see my picture. And I was like, yeah, on my phone, I see my picture, and on my TV, I don't see it. So I tried some troubleshooting stuff. Now on my phone, it's still the glowing eyes, but on my TV, it's my take a shot in the forehead picture. And something I did fixed it that much, but I don't know how to, yeah. And then with the sound thing with RT, StreamYard's probably got some work to go.
Right, that's where
Like,
I'm going to have to agree with you, Illumitomi. I think StreamYard has some issues with the audio.
Just in general, probably. Because if you search it
not
on
just
YouTube,
that, most likely connection issues and stuff like that, trying to keep the latency. I think they must have issues with keeping everybody within a respectable ping, so that we all are able to have a conversation. So, yeah, go ahead.
I think generally it's the incompetence of the user.
Well, I was going to say there are user-specific situations, like you might be jacking 7-Eleven Wi-Fi 2 doors down where somebody else is just using their home router. There can be stuff like that. But I've seen YouTuber videos where they're bitching about StreamYard, and I go to streets that I don't let you guys find out about just so I can go not be followed by y'all's bullshit, with all due respect. Would you believe there's streams I can go to where nobody says hello, meth man? Like, I don't hear any of that shit at some of
When have I ever greeted you with something like that, Tommy?
For the record, it is really strange because on StreamYard, I see Tommy's logo is the one with him in the hoodie with like the lightning eyes or whatever. But on my phone, it's him with the with the headshot. So it's like literally it's strange.
Good call, Pin.
Thank you, DJ Screeching Holt.
Like, I got the Illumitomi on my phone and Zombie Tom on my TV. So yeah, I don't know. And I was just kind of like switching the picture, turning it off, turning it on, just troubleshooting. And yeah, it changed stuff, but it's still not straight. Like me. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what happened with Sovereign Soul last night. You guys can reference the stream. Like, somebody in the chat was like, Tom, I like this version of you. And that's what I wanted to respectably bring up to OTW, is whenever you're like, hell no, I don't watch other stuff. I don't look for you on other stuff. Well, that's what I've done. I've laid a bread trail of all different types of me on all different panels. And it really just comes down to the subject and who's on the panel, as far as whether they get me worked up into a clout rage or if I sit there and contribute like a TED Talk.
Well, then what happened a few days ago on Benton's where you were just going at everybody?
Yeah,
that was came at me. You mean like yesterday, whenever
was it yesterday?
Whenever I was really going at OTW and shit.
Yeah.
And you were going at it with me too. You tricked me out of my position. You tricked me out of my position, Tommy.
See, I'm gracious. After all that, I actually let you up today, but I appreciate you behaving, though.
No, it's
Genevieve just left a really good comment, by the way. She says the lack of attention span on the topic at hand. Sorry, the lack of attention span of the topic is surreal to listen to. I know nothing of meth names or last night's stream. What does that have to do with the top? Yeah, we really aren't on the topic and haven't been much on the topic, so maybe we should.
Well, I think we've
it's closing down. It's close. It's close to the top of the hour.
We were closing up the topic segment of the show, so that's
we're
why
going
I let
to
it
spirituality,
go.
right?
Yeah. And we were going on to the next
segment. I think we can segue this, guys, because I wanted to get in. Like,
keep quiet 2 seconds, dude.
We're
all right,
closing that topic.
I'm trying to run a show here. Okay, so guys, we are going to move on to the next segment of the show, which is spirituality. It's number 6. We are in the 6th hour of the show, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your presence here and much respect to you all. Thank you for your support. It is 11:56 a.m. here in Montreal, Canada, Eastern Time. It is 12 degrees Celsius. It's raining, and we are the 17th
Damn,
of
it got
April.
colder.
So now that's out there. We will move on to the transition song to the next segment of this show. So
If I could just
please
add
bear
one
with
last
us.
thing, OTW, to the last segment, since you brought up nubs and he was talking about the duckweed and stuff and how it's like 40% protein by volume and all that. And that's all great and all, but, so is spirulina, I believe, and chlorella and a lot of things. A lot of things are very high in protein by volume. So,
Yeah.
and if I'm not mistaken, you already used that yourself, right, Pat?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, crickets too.
Well, crickets have, I forget the name, lichen, not lichen. They have indigestible properties to it. Like most bugs, we're not meant to eat bugs, I don't think, honestly. So yeah, don't
I don't
eat
think
the
so
bugs.
either.
Sorry, Klaus.
Have you ever eaten a cricket, Pineal?
Yeah, I think I have like the one from Spencer's or something. I think I have before, but never again. I don't think, unless it's maybe like, I don't know. It's really trending right now. Cricket powder for protein. Like bodybuilders use it. Supposedly, it's not cheap either.
No.
And I actually have someone my mom works with. Her daughter is literally living in like some island, Jamaica or Bahamas or something, and that's literally their business. I think is like cricket protein powder, and they make buku, they make bank, and
Then she can go straight to hell.
yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to remember the name of the.
No, let me tell you, Peniel, I am surprised you didn't catch this because I want to make 2 points on that. Number one, trending. That's just another way to get in your pleb sheeple mind. Oh, it's trending. Crickets are trending. Well, who trends it? The people that want you to eat crickets. Some things we trend as a people because we do hype it up and give enough likes. But when crickets are trending, it's because they want in your spicy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here and thank you for your support. This is the musical transition to the next topic. So thank you for staying tuned. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
To be the best, die with no regrets, live with every breath, see my message start to spread, and I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens, life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means, always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it, and the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing, never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it, never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving, yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine, yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine, yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline, yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a past, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff, everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once, I'm gonna
That's
show
the
you
one
all
that looks
best.
like the
If
health
you
and
want
wellness.
that,
That's
I'll
the one
show
that
you
looks the
every
most like
side,
a
yeah, how
high
you
school
can
health
get
book.
it back, yeah, cause I ain't
Yeah, that
never
one.
done. I'll be number one, working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah, rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun, shooters gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I fall, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it, and the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing, never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it, never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving, yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine, yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine, yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline, yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah.
Christos, I just now saw your back in the chat.
Stable,
I'm not sure when
no
you said
label,
those.
oh yeah, you know me, I have only a past, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with segment 6 of Grand RiSiNG show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with our amazing panelists. who decided to come and join us with their insights and perspectives on these topics. So warm welcome to everybody, and welcome back after this small musical transition into this new topic. The topic for the moment will be spirituality, ladies and gentlemen. And damn, freaking the fucking my sorry guys, it was a little technical issue. I'll be back on track in a second. All right, so back to what I was saying. Spirituality, exploring different spiritual practices and beliefs to help viewers connect with their higher selves. So your thoughts on that, panel?
If I could just cap off the segue, I feel like this could apply to spirituality when you think of spiritual attacks. So to go with the trending crickets, has everyone seen Snowpiercer? Because in that Snowpiercer movie where the last humans live on that train, they're feeding the lower class cricket bars, and there's a cricket bar now on the market called a Snowpiercer bar. So it's like your preconditioning or whatever we call it. It all just rolls right in.
Well, you see, I've seen that movie, and I've also, there's also the television series. I think it's on Netflix, or I don't know which platform it's playing on. But there's there's a series. But I have seen the movie, and it actually does portray pretty much the way things are today, and how it's pretty much a spiritual war that we're at, and we're not up against weapons, flesh, and we're up against principalities and like the higher powers in this realm that control us, and we're up against it. This is a spiritual war, and I think that we have to be ready, mind, body, and spirit, to any certain eventuality that could probably come up and present itself in your life, where you have to depend on your spiritual comprehension of things to have a discerning judgment on the events to come. So I'll land that there. Your thoughts, everyone. Would like to hear from you, and I will also drop a link in the chat for some people to come and join in on this topic. So I'm sure this topic resonates with many of you. So I'm pretty sure you guys have a great opinion, and I would like to hear from you guys. So please don't hesitate to click the link, and I will yield and let the panel express themselves and their opinions on the subject. So panel.
Yeah, I'll jump in here. This isn't my area of focus by any means, but I will say that, just like diet, for example, some people, their bodies thrive, not eating animal products, veganism or vegetarianism, and others say that when they do that, their body just doesn't behave like it normally would, and they lose strength. So it's all just kind of like a personal, like what works for you, what fits in your physical and now spiritual, what fits into your spiritual need or realm, or fitting of your internal being. And you see so many people argue and fight over, my religion is better than your religion, or my version of Christianity is more true than your version of Christianity, or
my diet's better than your diet.
Yeah,
me not doing meth makes me better than someone that's done meth.
Yeah. So there. I mean, just think, and then not only that, but like just think about the wars that have had. If we're to believe history, but even just recent in our lifetime, we can see that religion has created all kinds of divide and conquer. And I know this is spirituality and not quote unquote religion, but the two are definitely interconnected. And if you do follow some form of, spirituality, there's a prominent YouTuber, Paul Romano, Pockets of the Future, and he's real big into
Yeah, I like Paul.
Heartfulness. This is India, the country of India based spirituality technique, and complete with so-called gurus and so forth. But even he, a follower of that for all these years, has pointed out how, like, centralized leadership can, fall off the rails and kind of lead people the wrong way from the original leaders that he learned it from. And, I'm paraphrasing, I'm not doing it justice, but just my point is that even in something like that, where somebody has tried a lot of different things and finally lands on something that they believe, like, finally, finally I found something. I feel great. I resonate with people that are really into it. And then next thing you know, it's like, now all of a sudden, there's conflict, and it's like, I don't know what's going on with my group. They're doing stupid shit. So
Yeti Life just accidentally made up a new line for the community, because usually, I know he was saying divide and conquer, but I think divide and conquer also applies.
Yeah. But
where's Christos at? Christos is supposed to be blowing up over that.
This
D-vibe, Christos. Listen to it. D-vibe and conquer. You people are hopeless, I swear.
We just don't get the joke.
So RT, let me respond in agreement and like slight disagreement. I think it all falls on the individual, because we would all agree that the intention of a religion was supposed to be positive, the same way the intention of, okay, Yeti, then you're a smart guy, you made it up on purpose, I'll give you that, but you showed it to me. We know that the guy that taught phones how to listen to us and throw logical examples of what we might want to buy, that was every good intention when it was created. And it was Big Brother that was like, now we're going to use that for tyranny. And I think religion kind of caught that bag too. It's like some people just wanted the world to work better. And then Gary Oldman's character needs that book because it's a weapon and you can make it say whatever you want it to say. And these people will follow you. So it's like, it's the individual's fault. It's man whose fault it is. Because that's why I came into these streets just saying the worst shit that's ever happened in my life and the worst shit that I've ever done. When I get mad at you guys for constantly throwing it in the most sophomoric, low-class ways, I'm mad because my fellow man is failing in front of me, because I don't go meet other addicts on the street and tie that into their identity. I go tell them about it.
Tommy, it's kind of like how you're completely and utterly failing at staying on topic and focusing on the subject at hand.
Wait, this isn't spirituality, right? We're not talking about spirituality right now?
Yeah, but you...
I'll be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Maybe I tend to get just lost in the sauce when
I think you do.
Well, it also doesn't help when you're always up walking around, Pineal, and not listening.
Yeah, there's a point of that too. But I think maybe Peniel thinks that spirituality should equal good time feels. And I know a lot of
girls just want to have fun.
Right. Because I know a lot of people in the hardcore religious community, like the strict Christianity community, those motherfuckers love to go to church and get a guilt trip. They love feeling like the pastor's looking directly at them saying, you're fucking up. They love that shit. That's why they go. And you need it. Do you think you're here to like get your dick sucked to spiritual enlightenment? No, you're here to feel pain and suffer your way to spiritual enlightenment.
Yeah,
you're not here to be like...
I think, and a lot of people think that, it's all good people that go to church. But why do you think people go to church? I don't think they go to church because they believe that they're good people. I think it's, people that, are somewhat bad and feel guilty about being a bad person and go to church to seek redemption for their wrongdoings.
Well, the classic Christianity was the people saying, no, none of us are perfect. We're all bad. And Goatfoot, no, you're the one confusing. Like, spirituality was used to try and separate from mainstream religion, but still say that you are on that quest. But before we had to do that, because of mainstream hypocrites and stuff, and because of commercial Christianity. That's why we had to separate spirituality and religion. But you didn't used to confuse it. You used to do religion to do spirituality. That's why I still think Christianity and the Bible is good when you have guys that can't figure out they shouldn't stab random people in the face. And whenever you let them out of prison, they just go stab people in the face again. It's like, yeah, read that guy the Bible. Let him go by the Bible. Most of us, we don't need told not to steal. We don't need told not to violence unless defensively. But some guys, man, like if you run into a Wes Welker that wants nothing more than to eat your child's face, you gotta have some Bible for that guy or some bullets for that guy.
Yeah, I will say that there's a lot of this is just anecdotal, but like a high percentage of people that are regular churchgoers that are doing it more from a window dressing or virtue signaling to say, like, look, see everyone, I'm at church, I must therefore be good, and at the same time it's sort of like social hour. It's kind of like country club for people that aren't in country club.
Yeah, for real.
And
yeah,
because they can go week after week after week, and the old boy, pastor, minister is saying the same, 2 or 3 sermons, kind of switch them out every other weekend or whatever. And, everybody is like, goes through the motion and says, oh, well, what a great message. It's like, well, that's the same message you heard last week or definitely 2 weeks ago. And, that's why so many of these ministers kind of, shuffle around, because, at some point, the shtick gets tired. So they need to try it on someone else. And anyway, I don't mean to sound, jaded in that regard. I'm just trying to be, honest based on some of my own observations.
Well, RT, we have a trend today where you make good points and then I just come through and polish them up a little, because you are right. And EBT in the comment is right. Spiritual people do the same thing. And Mark Basket down in the chat is right. Most Christians do that. And I believe from my experience, it comes down, how there's the number of monkeys and number of humans that are similar, where once you exceed that number, you get away from I need to help my neighbor and you transition into fuck that stranger. I don't know that guy. Let's go. Let's just get out of here and let him get eaten, I think that churches are like that too. Because in Colorado Springs, they had that huge church where the guy was preaching against coke and man sex until he got caught in a hotel with coke and man sex. But then, contrary to what RT's saying, in my hometown, we had a small, tight-knit church where we did help each other. We did get together and plan the pastor's income. And he did give a fresh, as Provo would say, a fresh sermon every week. But I was also the family where we always looked happy, always looked churchy. But people would make jokes with my dad and not know that he was going to put the boots to me when we got home over what they were just having a good laugh with him about. Like they think they're just, oh, that son of yours, he was acting up in Sunday school. Like, yeah, I'm going to catch the Homer Simpson choke. I'm going to get the boots to me because they're just having a good time with my dad. But we never led on that it was like that. Even my good friends from high school as adults now, they're like, dude, I never would have guessed you and your parents were like that. I'm like, that's because we're good at that fake mask family shit. And we weren't drinking. We were completely like, my parents never drank. We were straight edge family meetups for holidays and shit. Yeah, man, I have had like a weird walk in this life compared to people I've met.
So I definitely, from where we're going with this, there definitely are people out there that are quote unquote religious people, but they also do seem to embody some type of like authentic, legitimate spiritual connection to themselves and the higher power.
Yeah, I agree.
And which gets me into thinking about egregores, which is this idea that, we have enough people for enough time putting out this energy and intention and attention towards these concepts that, to a degree, they metaphysically manifest and turn into something real, because so many people for so long have prayed to these deities, that in some regard, all these different pantheons from all these different times and all these current religions, even, you could say arguably in some strange abstract way that all of these pantheons and deities exist to some degree on the spiritual plane.
Absolutely. 100%.
And
Christos, when you met your partner, were you like a Christian or anything before you got with your wife?
we're not married. We're both still pretty young.
Sorry, I
But
thought you
yeah,
referenced her as your, yeah, just go on.
no, you're good, bro. I got you. Yeah, my lady, my woman, my girlfriend, whatever, however you want to go about that. No, I haven't been Christian since I was way young. And I kind of grew away from that in my like early mid-teens.
Yeah, that's fine. I was asking in the context because even in this like casual association I have with Lauren, because she's a small hat, like as
Hey,
growing up
sorry,
as a,
I just got a call. I'll
Is
hop
she
back here
really?
in a second. My bad. That totally broke my flow.
yeah, Rob, that's what I'm saying. From like all of you people,
She don't
I
got that nose though. She don't got that
well,
nose though.
that's a racial Jew, and she might be racial Jew, but well, she probably is racial Jew because she doesn't come off to me as very religious. But no, is what I was saying is like growing up as a Christian kid and meeting Jewish kids, yeah, I was always like, man, is just this Jesus detail, like, is it so big a thing that like the adults in our religions are like, yeah, those Jews, they're going to hell. And then the Jews are like, yeah, Jesus was a cool guy. He just wasn't all the Christians think he was. He was just a regular guy doing good shit. And I always just thought like it's so petty in the grand scheme of it, you know. But I wondered, like, I just wondered how Christos saw it if he was a thing and then got with this girl to be like, if you get with a Jewish
Like,
partner,
check.
you're gonna
Yeah,
experience Jewish stuff, you know.
I So like I said before, my girlfriend's not like religiously a Jewish person
Okay.
or Jewish in that sense. She just comes. Both her parents are like practicing Jewish, but she's not. She's definitely more on the, for lack of better words, spiritual side of things, just like I am, apart from religion. So yeah, there's none of the religion aspects in our relationship or either of our lives, except for her parents both being Jewish. And I'd say the most Jewish interactions I got to have, which were kind of cool, was New Year's Eve last year around. Or maybe it was around Christmas. I think it was New Year's Eve. I went over to their family friend's house, their Jewish friends, and they did some Jewish rituals and stuff before we ate, and it was all a bunch of like authentic Jewish foods, and it was pretty fire, man. The challah bread as it's called. So, but yeah, to what you're saying, Tommy, yeah, there's my answer. Yep.
Thanks. And because
Dude, I get to have matzo brie today for the first time in years. You ever had matzo brie?
Maybe. What is
Yeah.
that again?
You've had matzo brie, Rob?
I mean, yeah, I think so. It's basically just like a big cracker, isn't it?
who are you
Well,
calling
that's
a big
matzah.
cracker,
Yeah,
Rob?
matzah. Yeah, matzah is the big square cracker, but matzo brie is when you like use the matzah kind of like I mean there's a lot of ways you can make it, but it's kind of like the scrambled, it's kind of like a middle point between scrambled eggs because of how it's made. It doesn't have to have eggs, but it's mashed up. It's kind of like the French toast scrambled egg middle point, but you use matzah, so you can do anything with it. I mean, so like today it's gonna have I haven't had it in years. but it's gonna have chocolate chips and nuts and raisins in it. But yeah,
Can you
matzah.
manage to stay on the segment subject, Mr. Hypocrite?
Dude, we're talking about spirituality. Spirituality ties into the things that we enjoy. It ties into health. Like
You
this
sound
segment
pretty
definitely
health and
ties into
fitness
the last
with your
segment.
various matzo balls.
Now
I'm talking
there's
about
an
matzo balls, man.
there's an overarching theme here, guys. So obviously every like topic does have its connection to the other topic. So I don't mind if we still stay in the confines of the overarching theme. It's not that bad,
No,
guys.
I'm picking up what you're putting down as long as
freak out
I'm
now.
not the one that messes it up. I know. I'm used to it.
All right, so don't worry about it.
Christos,
Everything's all good.
Do you remember John Goodman's character from Big Lebowski? Like, I've met dudes like that where they became Jewish over a woman, and after separating from that woman, they retained the Jewish. So I also wondered if you ever met any of those guys. Because I personally think, from what I've seen of Judaism, it's pretty big responsibility or pain in the ass to still carry it after you're not with the partner, unless it really did just hit you that deep to where you're like, yeah, this I forget what the term is. I don't want to say Jewish all the time. What is it? Fuck. What are their scrolls called? Like, the Christians have the Bible, they have the Torah. Yeah, the Torah. Yeah. Oh man. I know everybody makes a lot of references to the Edward Norton Nazi movie, but you got to see The Believer. It's the other guy that doesn't talk. You know, the blind guy who's Blade Runner. Gosling. Ryan Gosling. This is the only movie he ever speaks through the whole movie. He's got nothing but lines through this movie because he's a Jewish guy that becomes a Nazi skinhead. And I think it's the best Nazi movie compared to the Edward Norton one. Definitely a watch. Every Jewish person I meet, I say they should watch it and talk to me about it. But anybody in general should watch that movie. It's just a good movie.
I will add that
it covers all the bases. Like, it has the portion that's about him struggling with Jewish versus skinhead. It has the political side of it. It has that street punk Nazis. It covers everything. Yeah, it's a good movie.
I was just gonna. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I was just gonna add that in my view that the best way to kind of experience whatever you want to call spirituality is to just be outside in nature and with no distractions and just be out and about. And you could even be doing some physical labor or gardening or whatever, hiking through the woods or whatever it might be, but just something about just being exposed to the natural wonders. And I know some people would say, well, isn't that some form of like worshiping, nature and, like a paganism kind of thing? I don't know what you call it.
No, you're talking about toiling.
Yeah, I'm just saying be one with the outdoors. Yeah. And you don't even have to be working. I'm just saying, just kind of.
But you do know, RT, you've done like garden work or like agricultural work to your own land, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you feel good when that's done, or maybe even while you're doing it. Like, to be out in the atmosphere, have the sun hitting you, you're in the dirt. That's what you're turning back into when you die, and you're out there working in it. You're probably digging up the ashes and re-soiling of your ancient ancestors, the same way you drink water that dinosaurs and George Washington had pissed out at some point.
Well, I do believe that gardening does have its spiritual benefits to it. It's sort of a therapy in of sorts when you're digging your hands into the soil and just doing something that makes you interact with nature, right? I think has its spiritual connotations to it. So yeah. And there's also like this
comment that's on the screen.
Hold on, let me take that off. What
Yeah,
did you say?
just leave that up though. I want to make a comment on that. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Well, like grounding is one of the things that I think is something that is a spiritual practice and is also, beneficial to the health, right? So,
And it couldn't be any easier to do. You just go outside and you just put your feet down on the ground. I mean, how much easier could it be?
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
are we talking about grounding now?
Well, I think it was a integral. It's like it was a good correlation to make with spirituality, because I think it has its spiritual side to the grounding, where you're connecting your soul to the rest of nature, and getting I guess I don't know. Grounding is, like, in my opinion, a way to connect yourself to Mother Earth.
Yeah, we shouldn't forget about like the earthen like element side of things, like earth energy, forest nymphs, fairies, that type of the whole like forest elementals, earth elementals, this whole idea that we can section things off into elements, and for good reason, spirit is often or spirit or spiritual is often associated with like air or ether, which that makes a lot of sense, but it's just that basic dualistic structure of this realm, and a lot of what we seem to experience is there always is that more. We have to honor the earth energy as well as like the quote unquote cosmic or celestial type element and type energies. I think within the new age type crowd, I think we have maybe a unfair association, or they give like unfair leverage, or they lean more towards, is what I should say, spirituality being something that is cosmic and celestial, which most definitely it is. We get into the natal charts and astrology, like it is, don't get me wrong, but I think there's maybe a negligence sometimes of down below.
I think it's more internal than anything.
Hey guys, sorry,
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna have to jump off. Thanks, Patrick, OTW.
Hey, thank you very much for coming, RT.
Yeah, you guys have a good rest of the day, man.
Have a great day yourself.
Thanks, RT.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, if I could just
I'm gonna be honest. I think you're right, Rob, but I think sometimes it's too easy. Like as within, so without. It is internal, but it's going to become the argument of, does it start from the internal or does it start from the external? It starts from both. So I mean, at the end of the day, me talking about the earthen elements and the earthen energy, I can tie that right back into what you're saying, Rob, about being inside, and what OTW and everyone was saying about the grounding activity. I mean, there's a lot that goes on like inside your body just from putting your bare feet to the ground. So there's that cohesive exchange, that input output I was talking about earlier, of the negative and positive ions. There's that shift, there's that connection that happens from the internal to the external, vice versa.
I hear you, but at the same time, if somebody is not like done the work internally, that external work, like the grounding that you're in, it's not. I don't believe it's really going to have that same sort of effect than it does as somebody who's more aware.
It's like the chicken or the egg argument.
You're segueing into that comment that was at the bottom of the screen and what I wanted to address about it.
Go ahead, Tommy Cook.
This is like for our entire community. This is for all the channels, because when we talk about both rights and freedoms of an individual standing on it, or our spiritual journey that we ourselves are responsible for, we do have to get away from this idea of like drill sergeanting people, that they have to do it and they have to do it now, and we have to shame people for not being further ahead on their rights and freedoms and their spirituality, because that's as productive as telling me you got this band I got to listen to, which is the worst way to introduce me to a band or a musician. You got to hear them. You're going to love them. I'm like, you've already set that up for failure by pushing me too hard to go listen to your band, you know? And I feel like that's how some people are taking this spiritual and personal rights things wrong. It's like, let's show the information. Let's show what we're doing and not harsh people's buzz, because that was the Christian thing, is to say, oh, you're not being as Christian as I am. And there's some streets in these panels I go to where a guy I like, a guy that you guys know that I personally like, he told me I can't have a communication with God. And I don't even know what he thinks about me to say that to my face. But I was like, if he would have posted the stream, you could see my face like react, because I watched my face on my TV go, what? Like I gave him the scrunchy look. Like, you really just said I can't have a commune with my God because you think a thing about me. And so that's the comment at the screen. It had a thumbs down emoji and called us like amateurs or posers or something, wannabes. And I'm like, well, we're all wannabes spiritually. Well, that's what we're searching for. We know we're not there.
We're even wannabe broadcasters, okay? I admit it. You got me, man. Okay?
Right, and that's why I told Peniel. I always told Peniel it was out of love that I was ragging on his weak technical ability. Like, dude, you do not have the equipment. It was back when Mitch would flip out. I'd be like, Mitch, I already told him it's the equipment, and he does need to square the equipment away. But I was never trying to get Peniel to like hate me for it. Like that night, whenever the blind guy came and backed me up troll style, I was ripping into Jen, like having a good time. And that's the same way I hope Peniel saw it a lot of the time, because I had made a meme joke about all the simps saying hi to Jen. Like, oh, look at all these simps. As soon as they come in, they just say hi to Jen Crocker. And then we're back to business. I was like, they're all simps. And she lost her shit. So I just leaned into that. You guys, if you saw that stream.
Well, you can't lie, Tommy. Jen Crocker has such an amazing accent.
I know. She teleports me back to my hometown. That's why I love talking to her, because that accent, oh man, it's like she's barefoot back in my hometown or something. It's like she's pregnant and barefoot back in West Virginia. Makes me want to sing Country Roads. And is she still around? I ain't seen her in a while. She's still good?
So Pineal.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I'd like to is hear. I would like to hear from Pineal and his perspective on spirituality and what conclusions he's come to over the years. And the reason being is he is also restreaming this on his channel. I would like to give him the floor and an opportunity to express himself and give his opinion. So please, guys, let Mr. Pineal Power here the opportunity to express himself. Mr. Pineal Power, sir.
Peniel, you can verify you are restreaming this?
Lumitami.
No, I just want to...
I know.
Yeah, I'm restreaming this. And to add to that, I think it's interesting how all of these segments do tie into one another, and they can all really tie into the spirituality aspect. Because I mean, what is spirituality, right? We are humans having a spiritual experience, we are spirits having a human experience, not humans having a spiritual experience, right? So although you could say the quote unquote NPCs, if you want to use that term, which I don't like to use at all, but they might be the humans, or they might be the ones having the purely material experience, flesh suits, if you will, empty vessels. But anyway, not to digress, but I like how all these segments can really tie into one another and tie back to spirituality. I mean, how grounded are we in our beingness? And it does tie a lot to the last segment. I mean, health and wellness, which is why, as much as
spoiler alert.
Go ahead.
Spoiler alert. It's also going to tie into the next segment. And spoiler alert. All right. So I just wanted to put that there.
I love that. Gratitude. I love that. I'm looking forward to that one, man. But yeah, spirituality, it's so open-ended, it's so broad. I mean, in and of itself, it's such a broad, subject matter.
And I think you nailed a test in it, Peniel. Like, that was a good point you made. Would you agree that if you and I are having our conscious spiritual journey, and let's say neither you nor I believe in a true empty NPC, then we would just see these people as like they're just not there yet, and we shouldn't hate on them and try and pressure them into getting there. You just understand, like, oh, he's worried about the 9 to 5, he's putting that roof over a family, like just the direct physical. And maybe next time around, he will, like the next reincarnation, he will have more of a mind of something more. But he still plays his role. Like the NPC still serves a role, even in a video game. It gives you that quest item or tells you where something went down.
I mean, I don't know what you meant by the ending there, but I think a lot of times their role might be to further push us to help them. I don't think we're here to wake other people up. I think that can be misperceived and possibly be misconstrued as Luciferianism, for lack of a better,
right,
false light. I don't know if our job is to wake others up as much as it is to, wake ourselves up. But then again, you could say that's also, not our purpose. So
I think that is what I'm saying, is maybe they're the test of you don't let yourself feel like spiritual superior. Like, oh, these NPCs, they don't know what's up. Like, I know what's up. And I don't think you want to be like that. I think you need to be mindful of, like, yes, I'm on my spiritual path, they're not, and it doesn't make me the greater than thou guy if I want to excel spiritually.
Interesting.
give me 1 minute. I apologize. Someone's at the door.
I'll fill the thing. Yeah, I guess is what I'm saying is
Good
no
point,
matter
Tommy.
What?
Christos was mentioning.
I said good point.
Yeah, good
Oh,
point.
okay. I thought I was getting reprimanded.
That's
yeah,
'cause
it's like
used to
I
that,
would
dude.
I wouldn't make a church, or let's say one of these panels, I wouldn't make a panel channel just to tell everybody I'm the better spiritual guy and that you need me to get your spiritual shit together. And
You wouldn't be
and then,
giving people flowers.
and I wouldn't be saying like I'm better than you, but it's not ego when I say it, shit like that. I just don't think it's like the flower thing too. I think that flies better at like bus stations and airports and crap. Jay Phillips,
You're
I
muted,
am
Rob. I think
troubled
you
by
were
how many
gonna
moments
say
be
something.
season me.
You're
I
muted.
wish I could
I
seize
wasn't.
more
I
moments.
didn't want to say anything.
Okay.
I've been tossed.
I was just
from
reading the
seas
comments.
to seas.
Yeah, shout out to JP.
He was the first bass player for Hollywood Undead.
Yeah, shout out to Jay Phillips, man, the miracle, the walking miracle.
Yep.
Talking about spirituality here, that I think is correlates directly to Mr. Jay Phillips, who is,
Yes, sir.
if you're talking about a higher power, divine force, Mr. Jay Phillips right here, putting up his comment, is living proof that miracles can happen. So much respect to you, Jay Phillips, and I hope that you're doing well, and I hope also that you're healing promptly, and the best of wishes to you, and best of much love. I don't know what else to say, man. I'm still.
I do. Hey, Mr. Phillips, miracles do happen, can happen. But when I read you, sir, when I hear you talk about your story and I'm reading you, I see a man that like rose to the occasion, and his solid partner like met him there. And yes, miracles do happen and they will happen to you, but I see a man that just overcame, even if he was an atheist that believed in nothing. You muscled that out. because I've done
No,
those
he came
myself.
back from a near death fatal injury to the head with a gun.
That's what I'm
Uh,
saying. I see
okay, I
as a
wasn't sure
guy
if you were
that
aware
was
of his
like a
story or
gym
not.
monster, I see the part in him that is that relentless. Like the guy they made the movie about that cut his own arm off when he was stuck between rocks, that mountain climber. Like I see that in Jay Phillips' Survival as well. The way that guy was like, you know what, I'm just gonna cut it off and find help.
Yeah, that's a crazy choice to make when you think about it.
Very
In West
grit.
Virginia, I knew a kid that, well, it was either the kid I knew or it was like his brother or his dad, but he was doing farm work alone with some kind of machinery where one day it just took his arm off out of nowhere, just yoink, ripped his arm off. And he said he survived, but after he survived, he said there was a point where he could barely see and he didn't know what was going on and he was trying to find his way to the tractor to drive to get help. And he said all of a sudden he was just on the running tractor, like driving, making his way. And I didn't argue with him on miracle on that. Uh, but yeah, like he was saying, like he was losing blood, he lost his arm, he was in shock, he was trying to get on the tractor, and then he was just on the tractor at one point. But I've also drank enough that suddenly I was sitting in my car at home in the parking space, and that wasn't
Yeah,
the
that's
best
happened to
times in
me
my
too,
life.
man. I was like, one moment I was at the bar, and the next moment I was trying to put the key in the keyhole to enter my mom's house. I was pretty young, too. I was like, what, 18? And
Yeah.
I still remember that. And I took me like, what, 20 minutes to get the key in the keyhole. And my and she had dogs, so the dogs were barking. She ended up coming to answer the door because I never really did get the door open. She's the one who came and opened it up for me. And she looked at me, she goes, "It's 5 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing?" I looked at her, I go, Mom, I want to talk to you. We need to talk. I'll have a conversation. Let's sit down at the table. Let's have a conversation. And we sat down on the table, and I fell asleep at the table. And that was the end.
Nice.
So yeah, little
there was
That's
a
anecdote
funny.
few times. There was a few times we had a couple beers in the fridge, and every time it was because somebody told my mom you can rinse your hair with beer for some effect. So that was the only reason we ever had beer in the fridge.
What?
And they kept them to a
Never mind,
number.
Christos. We're just like, we're gonna get back on topic there. We just like
Yeah,
little
we crossed the
anecdote.
threshold on that one.
Well, that was
Yeah,
a
we did.
callback to my strict churchy make a showing parents. I just wanted to make a callback on that.
All right, so guys,
Hey,
it
so
is 12:45 p.m. We are now 9 degrees Celsius, still cloudy outside, not raining anymore, and it's still April 17th. If people haven't been aware of, we haven't changed date yet, so it's still the same date today. And Christos, you were about to say something, sir. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
am I coming in clear?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Animism is a term I think that should definitely be looked into by people, because I think there's a very deep truth to what animism is, that everything has a spirit, whether it's sentient or not, whether it's a conscious being or not, from the rocks to the trees to the water and the air. All these things have a spiritual essence to them. You could say that there's almost like a spiritual sentience, even if there's not a physical 3D world material or sentience, that there is some type of spiritual essence where it's still alive, even if it's inanimate, or even if it's artificial. It has like a certain spirit to it. It goes back to what I was saying about egregores and these pantheons and these gods from different cultures and times, and how to a certain degree they're real because there's been that invested energy and attention by countless generations of people. conscious beings with their prayers and with their hymns to the gods and the goddesses. But yeah, animism, I think, is one of the deepest truths of what this reality is, that everything is layered spiritually and has a sentience, a spiritual sentience, if you can, uh, get your consciousness to that degree or level of awareness.
Yeah, in layman's terms, wrap your head around it.
I need hostesses.
Yeah, I hear like the Japanese are sort of like big on that, and there was like some old thing that I saw where it's like they would not cut like a living stone or some line or some quote or something like that, and that's how they saw it, just like that, because it's all conscious as they saw it. So,
I was
they
actually
would.
like that in a form of childhood OCD, where like I was careful not to like offend my toys and stuff. And what I think is, I know, it sounds like, and I also had to like touch, like sometimes I'd have to like touch a doorknob with both hands. Like if we were visiting a relative and I only touched the doorknob with one hand, I'd be like, if we leave and I don't touch the doorknob with my other hand, it's gonna drive me nuts. And I eventually grew out of it. But to go with what Christos was saying, I think even if not all of those things have the spirit, I think you're still making yourself be correctly in the practice of treating it like it does, Because I'll push back on all this vegetarian stuff, but I think the problem is that we are separated from killing the animal ourselves and respecting the animal as you kill it for food, and you don't want it to suffer. You don't disrespect it. You will use as much of it as you can. That's what I think we're getting away from. It's not the consuming of the meat, because you could all stay in your little box that the government wants you in, and those animals are still eating each other every day. Like they're not missing any different if you're an extra thing out there eating them, because that's just circle of life. But I think in Christos's what'd you call it? Animus?
Animism.
Animism.
Yeah, in that context, like James Hetfield, the lead singer of Metallica, he lives in Colorado and he makes it a point to teach his kids, like, this is circle of life. They butcher their food, they eat it. His kids know how it happens. He has put himself in that process, and there's no like exploiting of the animal. I did know kids in West Virginia that would go out hunting, just shoot a deer out of season and leave it laying there, and those were kids we fucked with, like they were also bullies. So I don't agree with that kind of shit. But me and my brother have also been hunting, and we've shot neighboring land dogs that were out running deer down, just as dogs that aren't kept in check. So we've shot our neighbors' dogs for being out just running deer down wild. So there is like layers to it, which goes back to like, I don't like telling any individual hard lines of what they should or shouldn't be doing, because that's between them and their Sky Daddy experience. Just don't bring those actions against a fellow Sky Daddy brother. Like, you want to be careful about the sentience that can do that back. But my whole thing about animal rescues and taking up for animals is simply because they can't voice their problems. Like, I helped my drug addict neighbors protect the out of hand pit bull they owned, that I even paid for my own stitches rather than report it or let anybody know it happened, just because I know that pit bull will never get another chance than those drug addict lesbians that owned it. And I give them props for that, because that dog can't tell them what it was through before they picked it up. No dog can tell you what it's seen or what it's been through, but it'll bite you when you trigger it on that. And that's why you have to like respect them as you develop that relationship with them.
Nice. Your thoughts, panel? You guys would like to expound upon what Lumitami has just... does anybody have something they would like to contribute? All right. So if not, sounds great. What we're going to do is move on to the next segment of the show, which is, ladies and gentlemen, number 7, gratitude and positivity. All right. So this will be the next segment. Let me set up the song for the transition over to the next part of the show. So since my awesome panelists do not have anything else to add to this awesome
Was
subject that
that
we
an
were
hour?
on,
Did we do an
we,
hour on spirituality?
we're going up. We are at exactly 52 minutes in to the spirituality. So we had another good 3 minutes of saying whatever you want to say. So if you guys want to say something real quick,
Oh, yeah,
and
because I left Jay Phillips hanging. Whenever I said the thing about the hunting, that's when I asked for host assistance because I was like, I want to comment on Christos, but also Jay Phillips. Jay Phillips, I wouldn't say it's like possibly the suffering makes the man. I would say yes, it is the suffering in this experience. The gratitude for appreciating your suffering, which is the next segment. But no, dude, everything you're going through, I see it as all the shit I've gone through, and you're no lesser for it. You're only stronger for it. I never got that bulk muscle from feeling good in the gym. I got that bulk muscle from being in pain every day, 6 days a week. Just like this experience, you got to make the best of all your pain, and you'll find yourself suddenly a better person for it. But you have to find it. You can't have some jackass say, hey, it's always worse, so there's always somebody that's got it worse. Yeah, fuck you, dude. I lost my leg. I'm sure someone that lost 2 legs has it worse. I'm kind of bummed that I lost my leg today, you pretentious fuck. So that's why you have to figure out why losing the leg was going to be good for you. Some boomer jackass can't roll up and make you think that. Kind of like if you got rich in the market off methamphetamine. You people can't faze me. You only make yourself look spiritually worse. I gave that up thinking that the panel was like this. When I revealed like that a friend tried to rape me with drugs and that's how I got on meth, I thought that panel was this back then. And now
I didn't know that's what got you on meth.
I was never going to try it. And he had to give me meth because he gave me too much of the one you'd put in a lady's drink. And like, as I was puking and fading out and getting comatose from that, and I'm the one saying like, maybe I got to like navigate out of here. That's when he's like, here, just hit this a little bit. Cause I was puking in the toilet and my eyes were all like blurry, teared up. Like even when you're drunk puking and that happens. And when he said, here, just take a little hit off this, I thought he grabbed my weed bowl out of the other room and was handing it to me. So I hit it. And by the time I inhaled, it was like resetting all the nausea and the ailment. And I was like reset in moments. And I was like, Jesus Christ, what did you just give me? And he's like, oh, that was just a little methamphetamine. I was like, Jesus.
Have you ever considered that if you didn't bring up what you claim everyone always attaches to you, that maybe people wouldn't attach it to you?
Are you saying if I had never said what happened to me? Because that's
okay. If you could go, here's my thing. It's a question. Do you think that if you could go one stream without bringing up that word and that substance, that maybe people would have an easier time not attaching you to that substance and that thing?
I do it all the time.
I don't think I've ever seen you go on a panel and not bring up that thing.
That's because that's okay. I'm gonna be nice, Peniel, compared to how I am about your technical stuff. That's because you are a 30-year-old child that doesn't realize every stream one of these motherfuckers is gonna direct it to me, or even a panelist is gonna say it, and I respond to that. Because I told you I don't care, Peniel. I told you.
So let me ask you then. Who did you? Do you remember? Let's see how good your memory is today. Do you remember who brought it up first? Was it you or someone else?
It was various chatters. I wouldn't be able to tell you which one was the first, but I have what's his name? I forget his name because I have him blocked. but even he got brought up in a screen chat, just long form meth in it, and everybody ties meth into it. And I've never heard Bad Barney Bullet refer to my name without calling me Thomas. And I don't care. Is what I'm saying is you guys are the ones degrading yourselves to show your Sky Daddy you're gonna ride me like that when they know I shared those details to try and help, to try and assist those.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the end of the segment of the show and now entering the musical transition into the next segment, gratitude and positivity. Number 7. We are in the 7th hour of the show. It is presently 12:57 p.m. We are in Montreal, Canada, Eastern Time. 9 degrees Celsius, cloudy. I'm hoping for a great ending to this panel, this great afternoon. Please make sure to hit that like button, share, subscribe, and bell. And if you guys are interested in helping out with the channel and supporting it in any other way, as well as buy coffee, the link is in the top live chat, and we will be dropping it periodically in chat. So if ever anyone wants to support the channel, so we can do this 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. So thank you very much, everybody, for being here.
I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path. If you want it bad, I'm gonna show you where it's at. Yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done. I'll be number one, working hella hard until I get just what I want. Yeah, rises like the sun. Yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooters gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I won. Yeah, always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. Stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a past, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.
All right, so we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being patient and staying tuned with us on the Grand Rising Show number 9. Tips to start the day on a positive and productive note. And we are on segment number 7, gratitude and positivity. So let us go back to our amazing panelists here who are contributing. And we're going to have to really thank these guys for being here and, sharing and giving us their perspective on things. So welcome back, guys. Small little break there, musical transition. And I hope everyone is enjoying the show up until now. I am actually personally enjoying the structure of the way I've been, managing this live stream. Really like the fact that I can direct our conversations and keep us from, trying to keep us from derailing and going off into different subjects, and at least focusing on the same subject for at least 1 hour, and then be able to move on to something else. Obviously, if the people are going to be watching this afterwards, after the live stream, the after watchers, will you guys have any suggestions on topics that you would like us to talk about? Please make sure to leave some comments in the comment section afterwards, or if feel free to leave some right now if you want to, people. So we bring the best content for you viewers out there, because we are very viewer sensitive over here. We really like to bring something of value to you that you can carry on your day with. And I hope that these little segments are inspiring to you and refresh you and give you a little bit of discipline and focus during your day. Thank you, Genevieve, for pointing that out. So getting back to the topic for segment 7, which is gratitude and positivity. Well, I'm going to start out by saying that I'm very grateful for everyone to be here right now. And I am also very grateful for life to give me the opportunity to be here right now and be able to broadcast and live on YouTube and be a part of the YouTube family, and also this great community and every other collaborations that I do with any other YouTube creator or content creator that's out there right now. So that being said, guys, what are well, here I'm gonna define a bit of the parameters for this part of the show, which is where am I? Have I lost myself? Oh, there we go. Here I am. Gratitude and positivity. All right. So we'd like to be discussing the benefits of gratitude and positive thinking, and providing tips for incorporating them into our daily life. Okay. So this is like kind of the structure of the of the segment of this show. So please, your thoughts, panel.
I like what you've done with this OTW. It's like you've created these different pillars. And I know, there's so many different types of these things out here, but it never hurts to create another one where it's like these pillars for success, or, for optimization and improvement. Because ultimately all of these different topics that you're doing an hour on, they all synthesize together. All these things can they cross over into each other. They work with each other, and you can focus on them independently of each other, but ultimately at the end of the day, these things all come together and work together.
That was
Or
the
we gotta
idea,
make them
actually.
work together.
Yes, that was the actual idea of the whole program. I hate to call it program, but that's pretty much what it was, is me taking 3 hours of my time to structure a show where we can expand and expound upon these different topics, and permits me to see at the same time what stimulates and what does not. So it gives me a better idea of how my future broadcasts are going to be done, and at the same time get to see the strengths and weaknesses of each topic as we progress on through this new format that I'm doing right now. So thank you for pointing that out, Mr. Christos, because I've been wanting to try something new and bring something a little bit more dynamic, and have a little bit more control over the conversations, in the sense that sometimes the conversations get lost, and then people pop off because nobody has anything really to say, and then there's no real, and it was kind of chaotic, and I appreciate the freestyle aspect of it, but I think I've been doing that long enough now, and I think it's time for the channel to go up to upgrade a little and have a little bit more of entertainment value, where we all get to express our opinions on these different topics. And we will be coming around back to these topics again, just the most popular ones, the ones that resonate with the public the most, and we'll be focusing on those topics in the future as time progresses. So thank you, everyone. I am so grateful that everyone is here right now. So please, Christos, you seem to like to add something to that. So go ahead, sir. The floor is yours.
Am I coming in clear?
Very clear.
Okay. Yeah, man, I really agree with everything you just said right there. And I'm definitely looking forward to more panels like these in the future, especially earlier. It was pretty cool what we had going with Timmy on here showing that graph little display, little visualization, and some of the back and forth that we had with him talking about improvement, holding oneself to a standard. Some of the back and forth that Timmy had with the chat, like it was getting pretty good earlier, and you know, not that numbers, like we were saying earlier, we don't want to care too much about the numbers, but as broadcasters, we do pay attention to it to some degree still, and you've
Absolutely.
held a pretty good count, uh, around 20 for a good majority of the stream. It seemed maybe started out slow in the beginning, but between 10 and 20 people, uh, fluctuating between there, and then maybe going a little bit over 20 at times, or maybe close to 30. Like, I think that's a good healthy range to be hitting for people like you or others or I when we do streams, because you know, in a way, we still are just getting started with this. A lot of us, even if we've been like joining panels for a while, some of us are really just starting up the channel, or it's been kind of just something on the side. But as we can see now, you're putting more dedication of time and energy into this channel now. Like you're saying, you're upgrading it, you're structuring it more. Uh, you've held yourself to a higher standard these past 30 days, and it's like through that process and that journey, you've been able to develop yourself, and now you're finding yourself. Um, uh, fuck. Damn, I just lost the flow. You're finding yourself restructuring the channel is what I'm trying to say. As you've like improved and restructured yourself through the 30-day challenge, now you're like you're saying, taking it to the next step. You're going to continue this challenge as a lifestyle, but now you're also implementing the process that you had going through the challenge. You're implementing that into your channel now after you've implemented it in yourself, which again ties back into what we were saying earlier about it comes from within and it starts from within, and you have to have that. Um, you're only going to get that reflection on the outside, like with your channel, with your life, with your relationships, with your financial
Absolutely.
situation, and so on. If depending how you have it framed out inside, and I think you've been like a real time example. You're not just inspiring people because you like like when you inspire people, it's pretty deep actually, because it's like we've been able to see in real time your process and transformation more than just physically in your health, but in your character and how you carry yourself. And now it's being transmitted over into the channel. So it's been this domino effect, butterfly effect of positive chain reactions.
Yeah, and I appreciate the fact that you mentioned that, and it's actually it brings me to a new understanding of that expression "order out of chaos," because I realized that I was pretty much a chaotic person. And now that implementing that 30-day challenge instituted a certain level of discipline and structure within that chaos. And yes, you're absolutely right. And I seem to want to reflect that in everything I do. And I guess the YouTube channel is collateral damage to that newfound ability to want to restructure things and make things more orderly, and in a fashion where you have more control. Not that I want to be a control freak or anything, but more control over the aspects of your own personality and how you present yourself, and how you want, like, what do you want to see when you look in the mirror? I mean, it comes down to that, because I mean, and not just what you see, but when you think, when you dream, when you speak to someone, it's all about how you want to be. It's like, and if you're looking in the mirror, or you're listening to yourself and you don't appreciate what you hear, or if you don't like what you see, then make the change, right? because I think Michael Jackson said it best. It's it's the man in the mirror that's the only one who can really make a difference. So I yield.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. It's inspiring stuff for sure, man. Um, and it's always something to think about there with the butterfly effect and a chain reaction that's like constantly happening in real time, whether we are conscious of it or not. Whether we're conscious of making that butterfly effect and that ripple effect or not, everyone's actions are making ripple effects, and then it just multiplies exponentially um, by having all these different people everywhere within their own independent paths creating the ripples. And when you have someone that's conscious of the ripples that they're creating and the others around them are conscious of those ripples as well, that's when it can become this more synergistic back and forth web, kind of like radio towers beaming signals back and forth. It's just what we're all doing constantly. We're putting out these ripples in time and space through our actions, and these ripples are overlapping with other people's ripples and creating more dynamic exchanges of energy between people. So basically, we can affect positive change very momentously um, if we continue to live more consciously within ourselves and inspiring others around us too as well.
Point well made there, Christos, because really you're right on point there when you're saying that. And I really appreciate your insight because sometimes you have great wisdom for the young men that you are, and I think that a lot of people appreciate your perspective on things. And really, I am grateful for your contribution, sir. Now, Pineal Power, sir, you haven't said much in a
Thank
while.
you.
I know your mouth is full, so I'll give you the chance to finish your bite there, and give you an opportunity to say your piece here on our topic at hand, which is gratitude and positivity. And I do believe that you're a very positive individual, and I do also believe that you have a lot of gratitude towards life in general, I think. And I don't want to speak for you, so I'll let you speak for yourself, sir, and give your insight on the topic at hand. You have the floor, sir.
All right, mic check. I good?
You're coming in.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, to that, I'll start by saying I am very grateful and appreciative of you, sir. And like Christo said, to add on to that, probably unbeknownst to you, you've had just from what I've seen and how people have talked about the effect that your 30-day challenge has had on them, everyone from Jimmy Shively to Austin in a thought experiment to, dude, a lot of people, man, Jack, Talcott, dude, me, Christos, a lot of people, bro, like you might not realize it because you might be basing it off of, the kind of smaller, the light views you've been getting per stream. But again, like Paul said, shout out to Paul at Proper Instruction Motivates People. It's not about the mundane view count bullshit. It's about what you're gaining from this whole experience and this, dude. I just commend you, brother. I really give you a lot of credit. And I also have to admit, I kind of feel a little bit of guilt because when you started, I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna fucking join them on this shit, and I didn't at all. I don't work out a lot, really. I work out a few times a week, and I try to get in something every day. at least some push-ups and squats. Every day, and I do usually. But as far as like an actual workout, where I'm going 15, 30, minutes, I'm maybe doing a couple or few a week. So, that being said, yeah,
it's funny that you mentioned that, and I don't want to cut you off, or I'm going to let you take it away real quick. It's funny you mentioned that because when I see people going out training, I'm not like generalizing. I'm trying to like point out some things, but some people that do train only do it 2 or 3 times a week, right? Like it's not an everyday thing. So imagine I've been doing it for like 35 consecutive days, because I actually started this challenge 2 days before I started broadcasting it. So I had already started training beforehand because I didn't want to come on the broadcast and fucking not be able to get through my own training program that I had established for myself. So I started 2 days earlier, and throughout the whole thing, I wasn't able to broadcast every single 30 days, but the challenge was always respected every single day, and I was always doing something to better myself in any way, shape, or form that I could. So that didn't really mean that the focus was on the training part, but more or less like on the benefits of bettering myself in any sphere, right? So I'm going to leave it to you, Pineal. Sorry for interrupting there.
Don't be silly, man. Don't apologize on your own broadcast, on your own show, that you're allowing me to restream and gain some subs. I've literally, I think, gained a few subs here, so that's cool. Because it's a really important, necessary, healthy stream topic. And I don't remember what the last 8. I'm surprised it's already numbered 9, because I'm pretty sure I've caught at least a good few of the Grand RiSiNG shows, which is not to be confused with the coffee and weed stream, right? That's another
actually,
stream.
yeah, no, this is the evolution of that show, sir. The Grand RiSiNG
so it
show
is the
is
same
the
one. Oh, it's the
evolution
same one.
of,
Okay.
yeah. It's the evolution, sir. We are moving beyond the coffee, weed, and chat, and going into more profound topics and expanding the horizons of OTW news, sir.
Well, so I'm also grateful because you started off pointing out that I was eating. So yeah, I am very grateful that I can just go in my backyard and grab some coconuts for free, no cost. Well, other than, you're paying to live on the property that whatever. The trees in the backyard with the coconuts, and just crack them open, get the water, take out the meat, make a variety of things with it, smoothies, eat it raw. I usually just eat the coconut raw. Maybe put some nut butter on it, or shave it into like, a smoothie bowl or whatever. But yeah, I'm super grateful that, the Father provides all. I don't need to go to the store to again. I wish there was more than just coconuts. We have a mango tree. It's pretty puny, and it usually doesn't have any fruit by the time they're rendered, because either the squirrels get them or they fall off before they're ripe or mature or whatever. So this year we put these like mesh bags around them. So hopefully they'll survive the squirrels and critters and and falling off prematurely, and also probably block a little bit of the chemtrail fallout. So, it'll probably land on the bag. It's like a mesh type of bag. So, but anyway, yeah. So I'm grateful that, because it brings me back to when Rob was up here and he was talking about the McDonald's and stuff, and it's like, yeah, sure, two for $3 or whatever he said, 2 for $5, for a, it's like, yeah, that sounds cheap, but how much is a free? Like we were talking about the crab apples and how those are better. I mean, usually the crab apples are shout out to my homie, yeah, right, the Matrix. He just goes around, and where he's at up in New York, and finds those trees. He just finds those apple trees, man, and they're everywhere, So it's like the idea of I think food forests, man. Food forests needs to be if every region, every county had just one food forest per county. I mean, where people could go and get some whatever, berries, apples, whatever it might be, for free from the land, away from, hopefully, chemical fallout from what they're spraying, and away from a lot of the other factors, EMF and all that stuff. That's the way things should be, in my opinion. People shouldn't need to go to a grocery store to buy, sprayed fruit. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I haven't actually stepped in the grocery store in a couple weeks here. But and it's like we have to grow dependent grow independent of these systems, these control systems, because that grocery and food industry is definitely another control system. So like religion, like, government, politics, like et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, no, I get exactly what you mean, and I mean, thank you, sir, for your comment. It was very appreciated. We are very grateful here at OTW News, this segment of the show, where it is, segment number 7. We are talking about gratitude and positivity, ladies and gentlemen. So if anybody would like to give their insight, I just dropped the link in private, not in private chat, but in the live chat. And if anybody would like to come and give their insight and perspective on these things, you are welcome to click the link. And if ever anyone wants to support the channel, there is also a link there for you to contribute to help this ongoing broadcast, Grand Rising show. That will be broadcasted every morning starting 6 o'clock. We'll be doing an 8-hour shift, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll be coming up with new topics and bringing back the old other topics that we've been talking about and that were actually very successful. So we will do okay, sorry about that. Just trying to get that sock out of my mouth. Yeah, so we will be doing a rotation of these topics, leading on into the future of this broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. So Christos, I think you would like to say something, sir. Go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah, I don't know if it's, well, mic check, am I still coming in?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, that's just Pineal then. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Either it's something in my area with internet and fucking provider coverage or whatever, but my fucking Wi-Fi has been acting up today, so that's why I'm hopping in and out. Like, I know I do that normally already, but I'm doing it even more now because I'm trying to hop on my laptop and it seems to be working fine. The next thing I know, my Wi-Fi is geeking, so I'm gonna have to fucking hit up my internet provider, see what the fuck that is. So, but my data, which I normally use, is working fine. So I'm able to hop up here on my phone. But besides that, I was gonna say earlier when Pioneer was talking about the challenge you were doing and like inspiring him, and he said admittedly he ended up not really like following through. It made me think of Jack Talcott because he's he said a couple times at one point that he was going to do the challenge too, and I didn't even know if he meant like working out or a different 30-day challenge that's tailored for himself and whatever. I just remember at the beginning of that he was talking about how he might have to do it too. Maybe he said he might have to. I thought he said he was going to. I even thought like one of his last streams he brought up that he was or he was supposed to. So maybe I'm getting the quotation wrong, but I don't know if you remember that, Pioneer. I thought he said he was going to do one too, but I don't know if that ever even happened. So
Well, honestly, I'm gonna have to say that I recall hearing about that somewhere.
right.
I don't know if it was on Paul's panel or on Mr. Jack Talcott's panel, but yeah, I do remember hearing that. But I don't know if he had actually followed through or if it was something that he was planning on doing in the future. I don't have really any real information on that,
Yeah,
Christos.
it
But
was just I
I
heard it
can
multiple
admit that I've
times
heard about
somewhere.
it. Yeah, yeah, I heard about it
Right,
somewhere.
right. Yeah, so that's why I was wondering. I didn't. Yeah,
It's hearsay,
well,
Your Honor.
next time he streams, I'll bring it up because I'm pretty sure he said. I think he's kind of like in passing said, I was supposed to do that too. Ended up blah blah blah. Kind of just passively, glazing over it, like, oh yeah, I didn't actually do it, but anyway, not that I'm like talking shit on him even. I was just bringing
Oh,
it up
here's
because I
Jimmy
know he.
Shively with the juice, dude. Here he is with the smoke, man. Here he is. He did 28 days He wanted to do a 28-day and quit on day 2, if he recalls correctly.
Yeah, okay,
Wow, that was a quick one, eh? That's what we call
that
a quickie.
sounds accurate. Oh my god. Yeah, that sounds about right now. I'm glad Jimmy was here to say that, to provide the context.
Yeah.
But you know, when people talk about gratitude, man, like it can be kind of not taken seriously because it's like some people regard it as cliche, like it's been talked about so much, or we always hear from family, uh, be grateful, and but once you get that true like understanding of like the power of gratitude, it really can make the difference between what type of day you have, whether it's a fucking good day, it's a win, or whether or not. Um, so many people will report by implementing a gratitude practice that they end up seeing a significant change in the quality of life that they have because they're allowing themselves to become more conscious of all the blessings that they're surrounded by that normally would be taken for granted. And so, like, a lot of us actually have it really good in certain ways. We just don't take that time to think about it. But when you do that over time, it really does make a significant change. And I've heard this from so many people that talk about just making a simple gratitude list. In
Yeah,
fact, with
I like
everything
that.
you've spoken about here today, I'll get out a journal here when I hop off here, or when I'm not talking, I'll go grab a journal of mine and just start it up because why not? Like what you've done today with the stream, I think has kickstarted, hopefully for other people as well as it has for me, like the motivation and inspiration to implement these different things we're talking about, even if we already have, just doing it more.
Well, I thought it was actually really important to bring up these topics because they are, I think, important topics, and that they aren't talked about enough, right? So I figured that maybe today would be a special stream. And up until now, I'm absolutely and hysterically satisfied with the outcome of this stream. It's been an absolute success up until now, in my opinion, and also pretty epic, and if I keep moving on forward in this direction, that the gratitude that I have is going to propel me into a different sphere of broadcasting, and will permit me to bring the utmost interesting content that the viewers can interact with. So this is the objective, and I think it's starting off like with a home run right off the first day. This Monday, 17th of April. It is presently 1:30 p.m. here in Montreal, Canada. It's this light rain. It's 9 degrees Celsius. And thanks everybody for being here. Thank you so much for your support. You guys are awesome. Jimmy Shively, a good supporter, contributes almost every single day. So, thank you very much, Jimmy. You're a strong supporter of the channel, and and everyone who also had come up here today. Shout out to Mr. Timmy, who came and gave us a 5-minute presentation. Was actually very instructive. Hopefully, you'll come back and do some more of that in our future shows. And also, we had RT up here. We had in the beginning, Yurt showed up. Moose was here. So, thank you to all the panelists that showed up today. I have a lot of gratitude towards you people. And I'm, turning a new leaf, and gonna be experiencing some really great, sharing and like commune with all of you viewers and or panelists and content creators over here on YouTube. So thank you very much, everybody, and thanks, Christos, for saying what you say. And I'm going to drop another link down into the chat See if we got anybody else out there who wants to join on in the fun. Shout out to the world of the Unreal is in the chat right now. I haven't seen you before, so much respect. Thank you for. Oh, okay. This is because he's in Pineal Powers stream. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So just to promote a little bit of Pineal Powers stream here, we got Watch the Collab podcast is on over on Pineal Powers stream. Yeah. So much respect to you, sir. And who else do we have over there? We have Howard. We got Howard over there on Pineal Powers stream. Who else do we have? Jason C over on Pineal Powers stream. Shout out to you guys. We also have Pineal Power over on his stream. I think that was inevitable. We have Top G over on Pineal Powers stream. Shout out to you, sir. We got Holy Brother is over on Pineal Powers stream. And so I decided to take a little bit of time for shouting out the people over on Pineal Powers stream who is restreaming OTW, the Grand Rising Show, number 9 today. Thank you, Mr. Pineal Power. I appreciate you promoting us, and at the same time promoting yourself was a very smart thing to do. So a shout out to Crypto Alchemist, who's also on Mr. Pineal Power stream. Who else? Let me see. I don't want to leave anybody out. Just want to make sure I call everybody. NG Jeep Girls over on Pineal Power stream. I'm just going real quick in the. We got Gnostic Chef was over on Pineal Power stream. America's Best was also there. 6079 Smith W was there as well. So great shout out to you people. We have Look Within, who is also over on Pineal Powers stream. Either you guys are there now or not. I can't tell. We have Orphan Annie, who left a comment. We got Enslaved by Truth, who also left a comment. We got Look Within. I think I mentioned him before already. Let me see. And I'm almost through all the comments here.
Shout out to Illumitami as well for being on here earlier.
Yes, he was a great contribution to the shows. I actually commend him for behaving and being a good sport. And thank you for your contribution here today, sir, on the panel. I can be very grateful given the the right situation. Oh, we also had Jackie 333 was here earlier. I don't know if she's still here, so shout out to you. And I think I'm getting through this whole thing. What do we have here? Oh, Sunshine Time was also there. Austin Murphy was at Pineal's stream. So, all right, I think I went through enough. Let's get back to the show. And the topic is right now gratitude and positivity. So, do we have any positive affirmations that we would like to give our viewers today to start to complete the second half of this segment of the show, where we try to give our insights on gratitude and positivity? So obviously we are trying to be very grateful during this segment, and appreciate everybody that is watching right now. And hopefully you guys will. I'm going to put up a banner right now. I hope you guys are going to want to like and share. And please subscribe and go show some sub love over to Mr. Christos de Leopolis and Mr. Pineal Power. I'm sure these guys would appreciate a little bit of sub love, and would also appreciate you guys going over there, liking their content, sharing it out, and showing that you appreciate their presence here on YouTube and what they're trying to contribute as well on this marvelous adventure that we are all embarking upon. So we got Mr. Pineal Power is showing something up to turmeric.
What?
Well, wasn't that turmeric?
Right, it keeps going in and out. I might have to reset the router.
Anyway, okay, so
yeah, it's just like turning it on and off.
We have Christos is having technical issues.
So shout out to Aaron, who I found through Paul's channel. But yeah, life is good. I feel good. Good things are always happening to me. I will say for me, I don't like to me. Good things are always happening for me, for us.
He's like the
Life
main
is
guy
good.
that got OTW to make the decision.
Really?
Say what?
He was like
Really?
one of the main guys you were talking to on Paul's channel, OTW, before you took on the challenge.
Oh yeah. What was his name again? Aaron. Yeah, I
didn't
remember
know.
Aaron.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I completely forgot. Yeah, that's true. You're right. I remember him now.
What was it that he said
I was
that
going to bring him up earlier.
catalyzed it?
Yeah. Oh, my bad, Pineal. What?
I was just asking, what was it that catalyzed? Like, what was it that set it off? Like something he said, or?
Well, he was saying like don't talk about it, just do it, man. So I was like, yeah, right. You're fucking right, man. So I just like
You
did
know
it.
what? Why don't we play that?
He
That clip? Here, hold on.
He tipped you over the threshold, over the ledge of like being on the fence. I think.
Yeah, because I was still thinking about it.
Uh-huh.
I was like, yeah, I after watching that Wes Watson video, and I was admitting that maybe I should have, and I was coming clean, actually. I was coming correct. It's one of the first times I went up on Paul's panel and I acted accordingly and being, a gentleman, if you want to call it that.
That's for you in the private chat. It's very relevant, and I think you should play it. It's been a long time since I've seen it, and it's a fucking classic, bro. Just play it. It's very short.
All right, so let me see. I'm looking that up right as we speak. What's this? Okay, I like this. Okay, fine, Neil, you got me. I'm going to play this. Just 1 second, guys. Going to share what Pineal just shared with me. It's going to be pretty interesting.
I'm curious to know if either of you have ever seen this. I saw this. It was so long ago, man. But man, I can't wait to watch this again to bring back some memories.
All right, so it's not very long, guys. It's about just a minute long, so hope you enjoy.
Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just
forgot about this.
Do it! Some people dream of success while you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it! If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
This is good. This is good. I like that. That was awesome.
That was it? That was the whole thing? Man, I thought it was more than that. That's funny, though.
It was good. It was a minute long. It was good enough.
There might have been a longer version. I don't know. I just looked it up. I just typed in Shia LaBeouf, just do it, and that's what came up.
That was good enough because he's got a green screen there. So that gives me ideas to do a montage maybe with that. So thank you very much. That might be one of my next videos. The green screen and a little bit of music. Yeah. Might be pretty awesome for a next upload of OTW. All right, so Christos popped out, but that's something he regularly does. We are also talking about gratitude and positivity. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will drop a link in chat, or if I already have, yeah, it's already up there. People, please don't be shy. Click the link. Come and share this awesome conversation that we've been having. We've had 7 segments of the show so far. We are presently in the 7th hour of the show, and we are speaking about positivity, gratitude, and this is I don't know if this part of the show is going to be another part of the future shows, but we'll find out. I'll make a review and review all of these. And what I actually like about this is, the fact that I could split up these segments and make 1 hour shows, that I could restream, or, like do as a premieres. And, this is going to be creating actually really good content for the future, guys. It's going to be awesome. So I'm going to add in Pineal Power's little share screen here.
So yeah, I played this clip the other night on my, it was either the Saturn Day Night live stream or the karaoke stream on Friday. But this is the channel Alpha Vedic. I think you'd like this channel a lot, OTW. And there's a clip called Make Your Own Great Reset. Really good channel. And actually Paul went on this channel some years back, maybe a couple years ago, when he was starting his, outsourcing into broadcasting, so to speak. But here, I'll just press play. So it's another short.
Talk about the Great Reset these days, and I actually think there's some sense to it. I think it's a representation, the macro reflecting the micro need for all of us to have a great reset from all the stressors of daily modernity. And what do? I do this. I go on epic trail runs along beautiful rivers out in the middle of forests, and it resets me. I try to do it at least once a day if I can, but this is actually only my second one this week. It's been a crazy week, but remember to go out and get your reset. What do you do for your great reset? I love you all. Have a beautiful weekend. Happy Easter. There's a lot of talk about the
Let's go.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Go have a nice walk out in nature and, ground yourself, reset yourself, and have gratitude for everything that you have, and don't want, appreciate instead. And, work with what you got and try to, do the most that you can do with what you have, and then progress further on with your goals and objectives, and push forward as much as you can, and don't stop. That's what it's all about, man. Just don't stop. Don't give up, man. Don't fucking give up on yourself. You have the power. Take it back and use it, man, to better yourself and to better your surroundings. And do it out of respect for the people that care for you and love you, right? So that being said, Mr. Pineal Power, your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I'm very guilty, admittedly, or I should say I have been very guilty in the past of getting caught up in a lot of the fear, man, a lot of the fear programming that, great reset, Agenda 21, like all this it's just, and it never ends, right? It's one after the other. Agenda 21 is Agenda 2030. It's all the same thing. And then when 2030 comes, like 2021 came and went, and we're still here and alive and breathing. And I'll speak for myself, but healthy and feeling fine and divine and aligned with the divine at all times. That's one of my positive affirmations you were asking for. Yeah, I'm aligned with the divine at all times. But it's easy to get caught up in all the conspiracy stuff, but like, what if, right? This is maybe possibly the biggest conspiracy. What if they're putting out 90% of these conspiracies to keep us in that fear state? Because again, like 2021 came and went, 2030 will guaranteed come and go, and then they'll say, oh, Agenda 2050 now. Like they're already talking about Agenda 2050. So yeah, step into your power.
Well, you also have people like Archaics who are like predicting practically end of the world kind of scenarios for 2046. So it's kind of close to the 2050 thing, Mark, right? So who wants to wait fucking 23 years for the end of the world? Like this guy is predicting it 23 years in advance. Well, you're gonna plan on you being a YouTube for 23 years? It's like, holy shit, man. This guy will probably have moved on from YouTube after pushing these predictions, and when it's time's gonna come by, and it's gonna, who knows if even internet will still exist then. So the kind of thing that he's pushing, I don't really understand, but at the same time, I mean, create the content you want. I mean, we're all here for a certain form of entertainment, right? So people they feed onto this stuff, and it, you know, it animates them. So I guess that's fine. But we're here to find truth and propagate a true way of life without being influenced by exterior fears, like, you know, end of the world situations and stuff. Be here and now and do the best that you can do to be the best version of you in every given moment. And you know, I think that's everything starts with you. You are the beginning. You are the change that you want to see in the world. And if you're not, then you know, how do you expect change to happen? You know, if you're not actually investing in that change.
Yeah, and look, anything's possible, right? But like, are we just gonna, get caught up and stuck on the what if and fear of it coming? Because like, if it does happen, then would we have been better in that state, or would we have been better living every day like it was our last until that day came? So and again, these are their plans, right? These are their agendas. They're not God's plans and agendas per se at all by any means. A lot of them might be based on certain mystery schools and secret societies might have foreknowledge of in terms of coming possible cataclysms and resets and whatnot. It's very possible that there's a great deal of truth to it. But again, it's hard to really know unless you are that invested in that research or possibly involved in one of those or some of those schools or societies and that knowledge. So again, I really think we just have to live every day like it's our last. And I'm not sitting here claiming I do that every day by any means.
I know that,
but
that's what that's what I think I have to be in disagreement with you is maybe that's what they want. Seemingly, if you look at the way they propagate things, I love that draft. And, the way they propagate things is that they want you to not really care about investing in future endeavors, and keep you in this state where you're not necessarily in fear, but more or less in a state of not really caring, and blowing off all your money, not doing anything because it doesn't really matter in the end because the planet's going to blow up, right? So that's this is the other side of the coin that we don't actually see, is the way that they keep these people on keeping them spending and wasting their money and not investing into their future, and in that way not having anybody creating any wealth for themselves, and not establishing anything for future generations, because they're keeping you in this state where, well, everything's all going to go to hell, and everything's going to go to shit. So you don't need to really care about what's going to be coming for the near future. Just keep on spending and wasting your life and your money and your energy until that day comes. And that's what I think is maybe one of the propaganda tools that is being used to keep these people in this mind state.
Yeah, I would actually like to retract my statement or edit it and say that and that's the problem with speaking too soon, maybe not having not thinking more in depth, having something prepared before you speak, but maybe not living every day like it's your last, but living every day with such an immense deal of gratitude, since we're on that topic, such an immense deal of gratitude and appreciation that it's almost like you're living like it's your last day. Like you think you're going to die tomorrow because you're, like how you should be on when that day does come, if and when it does come. I say if because I'm not totally necessarily convinced that we do have to die. I know that might sound completely insane, but, why are all these people in the Bible like 900 years old, right? Anyway.
The Taoist immortals. I know what you're talking about. Hey, you look up Illuminati Congo. If you have an Instagram,
I love
you have good
Illuminati
information
Congo.
on there. yeah, dude, he promoted a book that was like about immortality, physical immortality. Like it's a spiritual thing, but it's trippy, bro. It's like a physical manifestation of your soul. It's almost like a rainbow body, but like reverse. I don't know. There are ancient books like basically written about immortality, whether that's literal or like metaphorical. You know, maybe a little bit of both. Spiritual aspects to it. You know, to be immortal spiritually versus to be immortal physically, but then also how matter and spirit is intertwined, so it becomes a whole trippy thing. There's a lot of angles you can approach that with.
Well, it looks like I just got a message that the white gorilla is on.
He is.
Has
He
that?
is. I just saw that. Yep.
Okay, good stuff. I'm gonna check my chat because it looks like I got a bunch of messages here. So let me catch up.
We all get the same notifications, Pineal. You know.
No, I'm just noticing it from a message actually from 420 Wild Dragon. Oh, and that reminds me, 420. I actually got I'm taking a break for 420. I've been taking it off. I don't really smoke that much anyway, mostly because I'm broke, but also because sorry, I'm not broke. I have been broke. That's what I should say, right? I'm not broke right now. I have been that before. Today's a new day. No, but I mostly did it for a tolerance break. So the 0.3 or 0.5 that I have saved, I'm just gonna smoke the whole thing. Gonna smoke the whole thing. My tolerance is so low though, man, that it's like I'll literally get elevated like a couple times off of that. So
yeah, you'll pass out.
Just save it.
You sound like a robot jellyfish again.
Yeah, oh fuck, Christos, you're
robot
like,
jellyfish.
Robot jellyfish. Wait, have you ever heard what a robot jellyfish sounds like? Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
All right. So, hey guys, we are actually at the top of the hour. In 2 minutes, we'll be moving on to our last and final segment of the show. Well, I'll give a little spoiler real quick, and this is going to be my favorite one, guys. Hopefully, everybody else will like it. Number 8, ladies and gentlemen, relationships. Right.
Nice.
So this is gonna be like the most popular one, guys. This is gonna fucking top the charts. We're gonna have people rushing in here to on panel talk about relationship and how we've been building them and breaking them down, building bridges, going from A to Z, back and forth. So here is you guys have anything you want to say? Another minute before I go on to the musical transition onto the next and last segment of the show.
Gratitude is vital.
Pineal, did you ever tell me where you got that picture? That background?
Yeah. I think I dropped it in the private chat. I honestly think I looked up like awakening, consciousness, fellowship, something like that. And that's what I found. And sure enough, that's what it says in the picture too. It was perfect.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Wow.
I hope some more people come up here, man. Like I think it'd be really interesting to get some type of dynamic conversation going. Even if it's just one other person. Like when we had Tommy and Rob and I think RT up here with all of us, that was good. So there's a lot of people out there, whether they're new or regular, panelers, but yeah, relationship wise. Oh wait, no, we're about to transition into that. So yeah, I'm just saying I'm looking forward to this next one. That was a good one to save for last. OTW for sure.
That's what I think. So I'm just gonna go on with the musical transition there, Christos.
It's the glue of life. That's all I wanted to say. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
All right.
Gratitude. Yeah, gratitude
glue of
is
life. No, relationships.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll say gratitude is the glue of life.
Hell yeah.
That was a great segment, man.
All right. I believe so too. So thank you guys for your participation. It was an awesome part of the show. We will be right back after these messages from our sponsors, which are musical songs. And let's go with, let me see. I have to find a song that really fits with this relationship segment of
How
the show.
about one of those from that guy Joey Jones? He's a star, man. I like that Joey Jones guy.
Oh, I didn't have any of those set up for the show right now, but
well, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but man, he's serious, man.
He's serious.
He's on point.
All right, let's go on with things are gonna get better. Okay, this is a good one for this transitional music section of the show, where we move on to the next segment, which is going to be segment number 8. We are in the 8th hour. It is presently 1:57 p.m. Love, respect. Hope you enjoy the show.
Found the passion for music never went away. I joined a couple bands and played a few shows. Tried to impress the girl in the front row. But soon enough, everything starts to change. As you grow up, nobody treats you the same. They try to take your future and make it real safe. You could be a doctor, accountant, or something sane. But yo, whatever happened to the sky was the limit. I fell in love with music, never thought it was a gimmick. I worked so hard on every tune and every single lyric. My whole identity depended on being artistic. Now you wanna strip that away so you feel okay? Cause if I make it to the top, what does that really say? That you shouldn't have given up, that you made the mistake? But if I fail, you feel much better about picking your lane, right? Yeah, things are gonna get better real soon. Yeah, I'ma just do me, you just do you. I swear it's gonna get better real soon. Don't let anyone tell you what you should do. I got a clear view. We're gonna make it soon. Just keep pushing through. You're what you got to lose. You're what you got to lose. You're what you got to lose. Just keep pushing through. Cause what you got to lose. 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 I won't give up, I won't back down. Till the line 6 years, I need a deep down. I won't give up, I won't back down. There's nobody stopping me except for me now. I won't give up, I won't back down. Till the line 6 years, I need a deep down. I won't give up, I won't back down. There's nobody stopping me except for me now. Honest, life's a competition. So if I'm going to play, then I'm gonna play to win it. I refuse to sit and rot at a desk all day unless I have a passion I'm working towards, okay? I'd rather be dead on the outside than inside. A bullet to the head than 25 to life in a cubicle alone, just trying to get by, building someone else's dream instead of building mine. If you're hearing me, this is meant to inspire. If you have a dream or if you have desires, a girl in your life that's making you feel that fire, go fight for her man, go die for her man. Cause you only have one life, one chance to do it, one chance to prove it to yourself, so don't lose it. You got this, fam, just keep pushing on, do it. One day you'll look back so glad you pursued it. Yeah, things are gonna get better real soon. Yeah, I'ma just do me, you just do you. I swear it's gonna get better real soon. Don't let anyone tell you what you should do. I got a clear view. We're gonna make it soon. Just keep pushing through. You're what you got to lose. You're what you got to lose. You're what you got to lose. Just keep pushing through. Cause what you got to lose. 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 I won't give up, I won't back down. Till the line 6 years, I need a deep down. I won't give up, I won't back down. There's nobody stopping me except for me now. I won't give up, I won't back down. Till the line 6 years, I need a deep down. I won't give up, I won't back down. There's nobody stopping me. formula and I'm about to drop it loud. So what we talking about? There is no talking now. We take action with passion, we're rocking now. It's tick-tocking now, the clock's talking down. And all I hear is haters try so hard to talk me down, but they can't stop the sound, already on the ground. Everything is growing faster than I can count. You ain't gon' stop me now, because I got this now. I got the formula and I'm about to drop it loud. So what we talking about? There is no talking now. We take action with passion, we're rocking now. It's tick-tocking now, the clock's talking down. And all I hear is haters try so hard to talk me down, but they can't stop the sound, already on the ground. Everything is growing faster than I can count. Everything is growing faster than I can count.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to segment number 8 of the Grand Rising show, number 9. And there's a lot of numbers, I know, but it doesn't matter. You guys try and keep up here. Tips to start the day on a positive and productive note. That has been the theme of the show throughout this 8 different segments. And we are in presently the 7th hour of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Much respect to everybody who's been here throughout the all of these segments. We do a quick rundown. Segment number 1 for the first hour of the show was morning routines. We did also, number 2 was mindfulness and meditation for the second hour. Third hour, we were going for self-improvement. All these topics, you can all backtrack and go look to see which part of the show interests you the most. So here, this hour, we were talking about inspirational stories. In the 5th hour, we were talking about health and wellness. In the 6th hour of the show, we were talking about spirituality. In the 7th hour of the show, we were all about gratitude and positivity, ladies and gentlemen. And now that we have ended and we have reached the ending of the show, we are in the last hour. We are actually in the 8th hour of the show. We have 7 hours done. And now we are talking about relationships, ladies and gentlemen. So that being said, your thoughts, guys. And I know that you, Christos, were actually very enthusiastic to end up on this part and this segment of the show. So please give me your insight and what you would like to say. And I'll just give a quick rundown of what I believe, this segment of the show should encompass as we progress through the conversation. Just give me 1 second. Let me get back to my notes. Yes. All right. Relationships. Okay. So discussing topics related to healthy relationships and including communication, boundaries, and self-care. And also, I would like to add to that, building bridges. So, Mr. Christos, sir, the floor is yours.
Am I coming in clear? Am I coming in clear?
5 by 5.
Okay, cool. As we saw earlier, I was enthusiastic.
Oh, now you're cutting out. I don't know what just happened there. Fuck.
Well, okay, I should be all right now. I took my headphones off.
Okay.
I'm good?
Yep.
So I was enthusiastic to answer Tommy's question earlier in regards to my relationship. And that's what I was referring to earlier. Like, those are like dynamic conversations, like the conversations where, I don't know, there's just certain dynamics that I look forward to with these panels that you never know when you might get one, depending who joins. Like, it might not even be dependent on who the people are that join, but the type of synergy that gets created based off a certain type of panel and who's on it. That was definitely going on earlier. So I appreciated that question from Tommy, even though it was kind of goofy. It was kind of a trolly question to answer. I understand it was genuine, but I just don't know where Tommy got the idea that, I guess because I put the emoji in my StreamYards, there's the purple Star of David, the Jewish symbol. I guess like
Okay.
I don't know, he was like asking a question like he thought I became Jewish or something. Like I was a practicing Jewish person and I might have been Christian beforehand. It's like nothing against you, Tommy, but I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, man? I need to set this record straight.
It's good. It's all about
but
building relationships and pointing out your different points of views to end up on the same playing field eventually.
Yeah, and my girlfriend and I have some slight differences with some viewpoints, but like the whole religious thing, like neither of us were ever religious. Definitely kind of like stepped outside of that paradigm years ago, both of us. So her parents are religious, mine aren't, but you know, it kind of reminds me of the movie. Have you guys ever seen the movie Meet the Fockers with Owen Wilson and not Adam Sandler? It's Ben.
Wasn't Robert De Niro in that movie?
Ben Stiller. What?
Ben
Stiller. Yeah, Ben Stiller, Robert De Niro, Barbara Streisand. Yeah. What's his name? Dustin Hoffman. Yeah.
Hey man, Pineal, you're really good at retaining the name of the actors, man. That was my forte when I was a bit younger. I'd like to. I'd actually listen to the generic and try to get to recall all the names that would like scroll down and like second actor, third actor, you know. And I was like crazy about it, especially producers and directors. But the one that the one that I would always retain the most, but now I've forgotten them because I stopped doing that, but was the director of photography, because my opinion, that was the real master of the whole movie, right? Was the guy behind the what we were seeing, right? The director of photography. So this was usually the one that I would always keep in mind, and not even the director, but in my opinion, it's the director of photography that really brings it together. So anyway,
that's interesting. That's an interesting take.
It was a great movie, though, man. I gotta watch that again. Honestly, that shit's hilarious, dude.
Yeah. At the same time, we'd be able to watch out for occult symbolism.
Yeah, you know, it's in so many things. You know, in retrospect, at this point where I'm at, you know, it's like it seems like almost everything, even things that you would think have nothing to do with so-called occult hidden symbols or meanings, but no, they put it in damn near everything with a lot of the industry movies.
Absolutely.
And so like I was saying earlier, OTW, we could definitely do a occult decode at some point again. But
yeah, you know what? We'd have to choose like a certain topic or a certain thing that we want to decode. You know, and we should
could
like
pick a movie or a video or even an art piece.
Connect behind the scenes and see what we can come up with. And I would integrate that into live streams in the section. The playlist, guys, I have playlists. I'm reorganizing the whole channel for it to be very easy for you guys to come and navigate and see, enjoy previous live streams. So we have the 30-day challenge that will be up for a while, but I'll be taking that down because I'll be making edited version of the 30-day challenge. But you know, everything like the Grand Rising shows will be accessible, and also the live streams, because I literally call them live streams. The thumbnails are live streams number 1, 2, 3 up to 20, let's say. So most likely Christos will be doing one of them live streams. So this is where we're going to bring up topics that we want to talk about and the occult symbolism that we want to decode in either movies, stories, children's, comic books, whatever you want, you name it. We got it, man. We'll fucking decode it for you. So yeah, that being said, really happy that you guys are here, because you know what, beyond everything that's been happening in the past few months, you know, we are also here participating together in OTW broadcast, and you guys are still here. And we have developed seemingly a standing relationship where it's going to go beyond, it's going to transcend time, if that's a good term to use for that. And so building
Yeah.
relationships, I think, is a very important thing, even if it's on this, for lack of a better term, metaverse.
Yeah, it's something that we can integrate, even if there's downsides to it, as aspects of social media and whatnot are weaponized against us as the people. We can still alchemize and like integrate and get value and create these like under the radar communities, almost like, maybe I shouldn't say under the radar, but just like we have our own little pockets within YouTube and whatnot in the quote unquote metaverse, these different communities that kind of link together. Anyway, but I was gonna say, not to get off track, but I just want to say, well, I thought about, I totally agree with what you were saying, OTW. I just wanted to get this out real quick. Like, my girlfriend and I are very into the occult. She gets into doing sigils and magic work and, understanding the quote unquote esoteric, occultic matters. And I think that's something that's really valuable to have in a relationship, is, someone that you can go in depth with, to that inner gnosis. I'm an Aquarius star sign, and so is she. I won't get into like the moon signs and ascendant signs, but or risings. I mean, but yeah, a lot of this stuff, it ties back together, comes full circle time and time again. Even if sometimes seemingly there doesn't seem to be the connection right away, it will become to be understood in time. Things spiral, the nature of reality spirals. So that's why we end up coming full circle in these discussions. We make these loops, we integrate topic to topic, even if sometimes it seems to kind of zigzag or not be linear. There's always that coming back motion, cycle, each hour, each segment, the resetting. It gets into what I'm talking about here, it gets into the cosmic clock. I was just talking about astrology, how exact and meticulous everything is, strangely. Reality is fluid, but there's also like a mechanical sense to it, that it's like how much of that is within nature and how much of that is within us. We are nature, but I'm spiraling right now, to be honest. But I yield.
That's good, man. I saw you there. It's good. It's all good, man.
I'm fucking fried.
Well, actually,
yeah.
you know what? I'm glad that you yielded, because I wanted to, comment on Genevieve's comment right here, where she says, "Yep, and I am an oracle of energy. It's not possible to merge with anyone that has no innate knowledge, innate knowing of self, and that sees past the illusions." Right?
Yeah.
So I believe that she's absolutely right there. And you see here, she has great insight, guys. I really like her comments. And she says, I was able in the past to have relationships with men, even if they had no clue. But now, okay, but no clue about what? Like, that's wasn't clear. But anyway, but no clue with the energies. Okay, and shifts. Even a simple conversation has no flow unless some has gnosis. Yeah, knowledge.
I think I
Gnosis is
understand what
knowledge.
she's saying.
Yeah, I understand too, because I actually go through the same type of situation sometimes in my own personal life, where you know, you it's kind of like you got to dumb yourself down to have a conversation at that other person's level, because when you talk about things that you know, especially when we're talking about occultism or mystical, and these people would call this like new age stuff, but we all know here on panel, and maybe everybody that's watching right now, that this is nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun, and we're just reiterating past knowledge that's been brought down in transcendent time, and we are just bringing it back up to the light, right? So yeah. So here's another comment from Genevieve. She's saying, it does not matter if we believe some things, but someone must be open to many perspectives. So this is a wise person here, because that yeah, a wise person would understand exactly what she said there, and it's very meaningful.
Adaptability. That's what came to my mind with what you just showed.
Yeah, to be able to adapt in any given situation, right?
Tool belt, toolbox. What's in your toolbox, you know? Well, it's like that commercial, what's in your wallet, but it's more like what's in your toolbox, what's on your tool belt, what's in your brain.
Exactamundo. And that does affect relationships, either directly or indirectly, because all depending on what kind of perspective you have with your partner or any other given relationship, whether it be friends, families, or loved ones.
Right.
Yeah, it'll always depend on the perspective that you have, and sometimes two different individuals have different perspectives, and especially if they identify with their egos, sometimes neither one can let go of their ego, and it becomes like this spiraling thing, never-ending story where neither one of them ever really get across to each other, because they let their ego dictate that relationship.
Because there's a clashing of narratives. There's this lack of clarity and resolution. I know what you're talking about. If two people are hard-headed enough in their ways, it's going to become this like immovable force type phenomena, and there's just going to be this tension that just, there's going to be a momentum of tension, and just there's some relationships that they are toxic from the get-go, and those people allow it to spiral further down road into abusive relationships and even worse, toxic relationships. It's unfortunate, but yeah, it seems we can experience and see out in the world, or maybe we've even been involved to some degree within certain relationships that are toxic, but not to get off topic, but when two people are true in their ego, it's a recipe for disaster, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. And if at least one of those people can just get out of their ego, for lack of better words, and concede to a certain degree. If at least one of those people, if at least one of the parties can, there's that like ray of light of hope that, sense can be found, and resolution and clarity can be found. But if those people have their curtains closed all the way and they refuse to open them and let a crack of light in, well, it's going to become a shitty paradigm.
Here's a hypothetical situation, right? You got a guy who's wanting to become who wants to follow his dreams, right? And you have this this girlfriend who is integrated into the slave system, and has this slave job, and for just that simple reason alone, this other individual does not agree with this person who wants to follow their dreams, and So they tell him, no, you shouldn't like try and do that. You're wasting your time. You're not, really making any money with that. It's not going to go anywhere. So the person that's in this system enslavement type of scenario is trying to drag that person who wants to follow their dreams into that same type of scenario where they don't feel that they're
Right.
losing out on something, right? So when they're trying to, my relation to this is what I'm trying to say is, while this certain person is there trying to put down the other person for wanting to follow their dreams, they're not following their own dreams, right? And they're not they're just limiting themselves to this pre-established program, and it's like, do this, get paid for that, and then don't do anything to how's that word when a flower what you don't do anything for to blossom into what you're supposed to, or meant to be, or want to be, I guess, or want to become. You stay stagnant in the same type of environment, and in my opinion, because I'm just like bringing this hypothetical situation into the light, because I am thinking about this, because these are certain moments, I guess I'm projecting a little bit, that I've already experienced in my own personal journey. And hold on a second, I'm just gonna. Okay, so and yeah, so getting back to what I was saying, because I didn't want to lose focus there. You got this person who's trying to follow his dreams, and this the partner who's trying to get them to go get a job, and get a haircut and get a real job. The kind of typical phrase that let's say a woman would say to a man, or it could be vice versa. So that's why I'm not trying to do any gender identification here. Just trying to say that it could be in a man's situation, could also be in a woman's situation, where either one of them want to do something to invest in following their dreams and doing what they want to do. So right there what we would have is a conflict of interest, because one person doesn't want to conform to the system, and the other person doesn't want that person to follow their dreams and wants them to conform to the system. So we have this kind of strange paradox where, are these people meant to be together, or is there a way to one of them to step out of their ego? But which one should be the one to step out of their ego? Is the one that's following his dreams really the one that is in his ego, or is it the person that is not following their dreams but doing this horrible job, 40 hours a week, and enslaved in debt and credit cards and whatever, and really integrated into the system, so this is my question, but at the same time, it's kind of like not an affirmation, but practically a fact. And in other words, what I was trying to get at is, what do you think the outcome of that type of relationship should end up as, and is it possible to redeem such a relationship if the relationship should come to an end? Let's say.
Can you rephrase that question again?
It's like, is the relationship worth investing time in if two people have completely different points of views and ambitions in life? Would there be a way to work through that, or should the relationship end, and the person who wants to follow their dreams continue following their dreams, and the person that wants to stay behind and stay stagnant and not progress and move on and want to invest in a better future, or at least in themselves? Do you think this relationship is redeemable, or is it not? So that's pretty much the question.
Well, there's a lot of variables, right? There's so many variables to take into account, right? So how's my sound? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hold on. Is this okay, or is this better, or is the first one okay?
This is better actually. When you're too close, it's like you're coming in too loud. But
So this is better than this right here.
yeah, it's good.
All right. So shout out to AK. But okay, again, there's so many variables, but Genevieve is a new sub of mine. So, and I like a lot of her comments here. So let me see what she's saying here. She says 3D union does not allow for dreams to be built because of codependent and control energy. Elevated couples are here to break the molds and make change. Soul purpose has no ego. Following true heart path is sacred. It's not possible. Redeem anything that does not have the same frequency and goals.
Holy crap! She pretty much answered the question.
And we have to get back to the root meaning of words, right? Why do we call them relationships, friendships, companionships? What does it come back to? It all goes
maritime terms
to maritime admiralty, law of the sea. It's all based on that, right? So if we're operating in that, using that language, it almost is setting, we're setting ourselves up for, we're lying to ourselves and each other, right? By using these terms. And that's what's so, man, it's what's so.
But what other term?
Geeky,
what other term would there be to describe relationships or friendships or we would have to reconstruct the whole English language to a way where we're speaking the true words and the true meanings of what we're saying, and not have this other connotation to it or underlining meaning. Just like you've pointed out with the maritime laws and how things function, and how we're using kind of like using a pirate language and encoding some kind of secret messages inside of our own personal lives, where we integrate these words like relationship and friendship, and like you say. So yeah, it does give food for thought there, actually, when you think about it, Pineal. Yeah, thank you very much for mentioning that, because there is something there. There is a truth hidden between those lines there that we have. I think we should take time to investigate further, and maybe that's another rabbit hole that we can going down that'll bring us maybe to laws and legislation, and right back down Paul and Slavia's proper instruction motivates people.
And Wizard, and that's why I gained so much wisdom from Wizard. And admittedly, I struggle at a lot of times to even know what he's saying. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to digest and assimilate the gnosis, the knowledge there, and it's over my head a lot of the time. He's so studied and has himself. Again, I don't know if he really tries to simplify things for us that are much younger and much less adept in the knowledge, in the gnosis, and in the application of it, aka wisdom. But that's why he's a treasure, man. Wizard's a treasure, and he's another one who I've just seen immense progress with. I've seen immense progress from everybody, man. Honestly, anyone who's, well, some people are maybe in a kind of a digressed state right now. It seems like it, but hopefully they'll come around. But everyone who frequents my channel, your channel, Paul's channel, and a few other channels, I've seen immense progress with. So, Jack, I mean, a lot of people, man, a lot of people. So, again, there's some other people who maybe are just a little confused right now, and they're working on things. And so I don't claim to be, I'm not trying to claim self-righteousness or anything, but, yeah, we got to get back to the meaning of the words, though. So,
while you're saying that right now, are you available to look up etymologically what?
I already got it open, man. I already got it.
Okay, well, share your screen, sir. You're awesome, man. You're on par, sir. You're doing good, Pineal. You're getting the hang of this, man. I'm proud of you, son. All right, let's add this to stream. Now this is broadcasting gold, ladies and gentlemen.
Sense or
All right,
state
hold on. Let me
of
put this
being
to the screen
related
here.
by kindred,
It's,
affinity, or other alliance from relation.
you want to start over real quick? I was talking over you there. Sorry, sir.
No, you're good. According to the etymology online, etymology dictionary, which, I'm not sure how trustworthy this is. We are using Google after all, but shout out to Google and YouTube. But allegedly, this is going back to the 1600s, 1640s. It's a sense of, a quote, sense of or state of being related by kindred, affinity, or other alliance from relation, plus, or I'm not sure what the plus or minus ship, specifically or romantic.
I do. Hold on a sec. It probably means
Okay.
that whether or not you have a ship or not.
So that might be the actual. So the deception again, lies in the admiralty prefix, or not prefix, suffix. What would it be? The ship, basically. Yeah. Whereas relation, let me think. Re is again. Lation. I'd have to look up lation, or maybe lation breaks down into two. I'm not sure, but I'm sure Wizard could school us on this. But specifically of romantic or sexual intimacy. By 19, so it took on a kind of a different meaning 300 years later to include having a romantic or intimate context or
See, Genevieve is pointing it out right here now in her comment. She goes, yeah, kindred affinity. Okay, boom, exactly. There has to be an actual true connection and purpose. So that's like, yeah.
So I could say I think our relation here, but I think something we have in common, at least the three of us. I'm not sure about some other people who are up here today though. Is to, I think at this point it's pretty obvious to grow, a platform. Again, I don't know the etymology of platform, so maybe I should use a better word, but to start a broadcasting, podcast, broadcast, avant-garde, not to steal Austin's shtick there, but, kind of start our own thing. Because the way I see it, right, is like we have to become the media we have to become the news in order to, if we're really going to if people are really going to leave MSM, mainstream media, like they need to, then people need to become the news, replace it, defund the media. That's why my logo on my channel is defund the media, because it's really what is needed. And that includes everything, man. I mean, it really does include all these streaming platforms, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, all of these, man. And again, I'm not telling people what to do. So don't hit me for any spam or scam or deceptive practices here. I'm just saying that we have to become the media, the news, in order to get people interested in other ideas other than being indoctrinated, programmed, and lied to at every corner.
Yeah, true that.
People deserve that. So
true that, because when this was the most like important part of this stream, in the sense that that's what we're trying to bring to the public, is that kind of content where we are pushing out this information and bringing up these subjects and segments of the show to compartmentalize all the different aspects of our lives, and have a better focus on each of these things. And in the coming weeks, we'll be adding on other topics to filter through that and actually end up with an even more how can I say, potent result. Okay, to really shim it down and polish off the pearl, if you will. Okay, and end up in the real essence of the truth and the real conversations that people really want to have. All right. So this is the point of the whole broadcast and the stream today, is to narrow down these things and to come to a common ground where everybody resonates, and we can have these moments of relationships, all right, and share our knowledge together and grow from that, and then become, like I've been saying for the past 30 days, the better version of yourself. So I yield. Your thoughts, panel?
Well said. Yeah, Christos, what do you think?
Well, he looks pretty occupied and he's muted right now.
Okay, yeah, maybe he's not caught up to the live too, but you know, again, we gotta get down to the root meaning of the word. So I think it was. I'm glad we touched on this, because if we would have went this whole segment without touching on the whole ship part of the word and the meaning, then we would have been missing the whole deal. You know.
I agree. Oh, good point, Pineal, and please expound on that.
I mean, again, I'm not word wizard. I'm not the word wizard, but I do know that this language that we know as the English language was, as far as I'm concerned, in a multifaceted way, reverse engineered against us to disempower us, et cetera, disempower us, self-deceive us, and it's really just what's the word, man? Wicked. It's wicked, man. I don't know how else.
No, I like that. That's a good characteristic or a good adjective that you could put to what they're doing.
And it includes gematria. I think the English language was built around gematria, and I think it was built around, again, when you look at the etymology too, you have to take all these things into account: etymology, gematria, to really understand, and you know what's going on here with this language. It's like, and what language are they trying to make whatever, globally, quote unquote, whatever, adopted worldwide? English. I mean, English is now spoken in almost every country. So, you know, what are we really trying to accomplish here, people, by using this language more and more, by more and more countries, by more and more people every day? So,
yeah, great perspective there, man. And Christos, would you like to build upon that, sir? Do you have anything you would like to add on?
I was just thinking about yeah, it made me think about how there's like a dark magic sealed into the English language, it seems, and that's why it's the predominant language, like internationally. It's so many different people from other places around the world, across the plane, learn English, like growing up nowadays. Like, there's a reason it's like the language of the world. If there's gonna be a one world language, it would be English. So there's definitely some trickery and wickedry encoded in there in the English language, that's for sure. And I'm glad you brought up gematria, Neil. It just makes you think of all the time I spent listening to Zach in TFR, and honestly, I'm about to go back and listen to some because I kind of miss it. It's interesting. It's really fascinating, but I do believe that gematria is like integral to this whole thing. Even though people want to say it's just, people want to shit on it and say it's not of value, but it 100% is, and it definitely reveals things. And sometimes you just have to be able to accept a certain amount of mystery. You have to it's like having that ego that you can concede and say, okay, I don't know exactly why or how. I may have a certain idea of why this gematria thing works how it works, but ultimately, what's important is that it shows itself constantly. And what's more important is how we can use it to understand better our reality, past, present, and future. Oh, you.
Yeah,
I
I like
wasn't even
that.
familiar with this word, acquaintanceships. I've never even heard that, but okay.
Yeah, and I really like the comment that Genevieve mentioned right here. Being French is what helps me out. Helps me not be voyons, tabarnak, able to be spelled because I see French within the words. Therefore, the intent of the spells do not work with me. So, and I actually understand what she says because I'm also French. And when I hear English words, there's always the French translation to those. And yeah, I agree with her. The French language is a little bit more complicated. And I would also say that the French language is directly related to every emotion. Like, so I think this is why they call it the language of love. Okay. Because it's the language that I think is most connected to our emotions. Right. So the way that we express ourselves in the French language is very emotional. There's logic actually kicks a bucket, and right. So yeah, the French language is an emotional language, and when you look at the contrary to the English languages, the English language is actually a mathematical language, more like an emotionless language, where it's based on kind of like a structure, mathematical or logical aspect to it, where it seems to me that I'm not saying that you can't be emotional while you're speaking English. That's not what I'm saying. Is I don't think the words are directly connected to our emotions as an English language. I absolutely believe that because of the fact that I speak another language, and I literally can feel emotions in the words when they're being conveyed when we speak French, right? Because the French is a very eloquent language, right? So yeah, so I'm gonna land that there just because I wanted to
Vous,
comment.
vous levez, wait. Vous levez coucher à l'eau. Quoi? How does it go? What does that even mean? It's something inappropriate.
What? Where?
What
Oh
did you
yes,
just do?
I don't know. He was talking real close to
Voulez,
the mic.
voulez-vous coucher avec quoi?
Oh, it's voulez-vous coucher avec moi? It means, do you want to sleep with me? And no,
Ah,
Paniel, I don't want to sleep with you.
okay. All right. All right. I'll take that to the
You
bank.
would,
I'm
Pioneer.
not
You
No, I
would
just
say
remember
you
that from
would know that.
that's the only thing. And then bonjour. I mean, I don't really know much French. My grandma tried to teach me, but I didn't really retain much. Did not really retain much. No, that's Spanish. Hold on. Como telez-vous? Is that French?
What'd you say? Repeat that.
Como telez-vous?
Yeah, that is French. It's how are you doing?
Okay. Okay. I know I got a couple phrases up here in this
Here's an
brain, but
interesting thumbnail.
Where is it?
Her
hers,
profile, her avatar.
Oh,
it looks like green sparkles.
yeah. Talking about thumbnail, I'm going to bring up our thumbnail for the last part of this show. We have exactly 15 minutes left of the show, guys. We are presently 2:45 p.m. This beautiful rainy shower Monday afternoon, 9 degrees Celsius here in Upper Montreal, Canada, Eastern Time. And we have had an absolute epic stream, ladies and gentlemen. For people who have just popped in, haven't enjoyed the whole show, I encourage you to backtrack and listen to all these different segments. And don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section to point out which segment of the show that you appreciated the most, and it will help here. It will help me out here on OTW News to home in on the subjects that you guys are most interested in hearing us talk about. And thank you to the members that joined the panel today. You guys are awesome, and you actually really contributed to the stream, the whole stream. So I commend you. You guys are really, really great, and I'm very grateful you guys came. And you know what? Just before the end of the show, I am going to go with a quick rundown of everything that we've accomplished today here on OTW News, the Grand Rising Show number 9. Okay, tips to start the day on a positive and productive note. So let me just come back to full screen with my gentleman here and come and bring back the thumbnails. So overlay number 1 was morning routines. Number 2 was mindfulness and meditation. Number 3 was self-improvement. Number 4 was inspirational stories. We also had as number 5 health and wellness. As number 6, it was spirituality. So each segment had its own. Sorry, that's not the one I wanted to put. Each segment had its own hour that was dedicated to that topic, and we had here as number 7 gratitude and positivity, and we are now ending the show with relationships. All right, so I hope everybody that was here today enjoyed the show, and much respect to everyone, and thank you very much for being here today. We still have a good 12 minutes here before we end the stream, so around 2:55 p.m. I will be signing off with a great song to end the stream, and a shout out to everybody that's been here. I see AK Crawling's in the house. Much love, brother. Much respect. Happy to see you here. There was Mark Basket that I didn't have time to shout out. There was also Billy. He was in the house. Genevieve, of course. And if I keep scrolling back, there is a multitude of people. Voynich, yes. Welcome, Voynich. Was really happy to see you here. And yeah, I mean, you guys are great. John Holiday was here as well. Double D 214 Audits was here. Yeah, man, the presence. This was an epic stream, guys. We kept this going strong for 8 hours straight. And, if ever anybody would like to support the channel, I have decided to do this as a full-time job. So any donations are accepted graciously, and thank you very much for supporting me in this endeavor. You guys are awesome. I've had a great audience the whole time we were here, and it was actually very productive. And I think that we were on the right path to inspiring people, to either better themselves or integrate new mindsets and create, and build new bridges in their daily lives, whether it be a spellbound language that we are confined to, whether or not we understand how that functions. It still is up to us to try and identify these subjects and talk about them and bring them to the light. So that being said, gentlemen who have joined me on the panel today, would you have any last words that you'd like to say to the audience before we leave this epic stream?
Yeah, this was fun, and I'm glad I tried to hang in here for the most part the whole time. Yeah, glad to be a part of it. And I really like Pineal's the background, picture, a virtual background thing he has going. I always like those avatar depictions that you'll see people make, like digital art on the internet, stuff like that. It's cool. it's like really simplified, but I don't know. There's something aesthetic about it. Yeah. Sean, are you
Thank
there?
you, sir. Thank you.
Nice.
Hey, we got AK Crawling who decided to pop in. Surprise, surprise. Welcome to the stream.
Hey,
Thanks for
everybody.
being here.
How are you?
We're doing great.
Thanks.
I'm doing awesome, and I don't want to speak for the other gentleman here, but I'm doing absolutely awesome.
That's awesome, man. I'm seeing you doing your thing, bro.
I'm slumped a little bit, but I'm good. I'm gonna drink some caffeine in a minute.
I've been so busy.
Yeah, man. AK's been busy as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell.
Doing all types of work.
I'd love to continue stream more often, but I have the now in my life and start, my ducks just straighten out, A lot going on. Sorry about that. Take a dab it.
Get your ducks straightened out. Order of operations.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty close to getting where I need to be to. I might take my instrument out to the mine today. With diving. I'm gonna take her 100 miles out, I think, maybe today. Go pick up some propane supplies at one of our other mines. And then we're gonna look at our mine that we're gonna hit first.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the first long range test room, but she should be good. I've been doing all kinds of.
Yeah, well, what did you think of the stream, AK, for what you did catch? I don't know how much you did catch, but
I was just on relationships, basically. Cool. It's like I'm fighting the words. Yeah, you can't really change how everybody in society can use it. Sort of thing. But it's like a mental fight, basically. But very interesting subject. The way I'm thinking of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're catching the end of the show, right? We're about to we're 2 minutes.
I figured I'd pop up and say hi to everybody at least. So.
But actually, I'm really happy you're here because I haven't seen you in a while, man. And I'm really.
I never want to say hi to you.
Right now.
Yeah. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Just wanted to come up and say I've been paying
Yeah,
attention.
much
to your
respect to you, brother,
workout
man.
Thing.
And,
Pop in and see what you're doing. I've just been busy as fuck, Patrick. I'm sorry, but I did want to come say hi to you, bro. You're one of my buddies that you're one that started talking to people on the internet through.
Yeah, you're homie, dude. Don't worry about it.
yeah, I meant to add to the end of that last segment, but just that it says the four types of relationships are family relationships, friendships, acquaintanceships, and romantic relationships. And I like how someone added that instead of ships, add union. So romantic relation unions, acquaintance unions, family relation unions, and friend unions. So,
I like that.
And then it also says the 3 C's of healthy relation unions, I'll say now, are communication, compromise, and commitment. The compromise part isn't very
important.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
I like
true.
that too.
They're all C words. I like that. 333. Jackie Fox, 333. Where's she at? She's probably over on Paul's channel. So, but yeah, man. Say that again.
The second one you said there's one I need to work on.
Yeah, it was a really good show, man. It was a good. I think honestly, it's the start of something awesome. So, and so if this is just the start, which it is, then that's an awesome sign. Because this was a great stream. So thank you for having me, Mr. Pat, and thanks to everybody out there who hung out and even just passed through. Appreciate you guys. Lots of gratitude as that one portion went. Oh, I like Langers. Man, I haven't seen that brand in a while. But yeah, it was good, man. It was a healthy way to start not just the day, but the week, man. Honestly, this is a kickoff to the week. So this week's going to be great. This week is going to be great, man.
Yeah, I believe so too, man. I think this is the beginning of something great, and we're gonna, push forward with this new concept that I've come up with. So, thank you for being here, Mr. Pineal, and your contribution is very appreciated. And Mr. Christos, I believe you would like to say something before we head on to the end of the show.
It's 420 week too, just to add to that.
Yeah. Let's really get it this year. Time to shake off any stagnant energy, especially as we move into the next season. It's all warm out. I'm gonna cut the grass. I cut my beard. I have an amazing partner. What was it now? We're not saying relationship.
Union.
Say whatever you want.
Relation.
I have a great romantic union, right?
Yeah.
And I'm excited for the opportunities that are revealing themselves.
We're gonna unfuck this language, guys.
Yeah. Hey, are you ever gonna bring her on?
At some point in the future, she told me that she wants to come on. Yeah.
You're just wrecked.
Oh man, if she wants to come on, then you definitely have to. I mean, it's one thing if she doesn't want to, but if she actually wants to, I mean, now you totally just have to now.
Unfuckery.
Right, totally.
How you think about if it's possible?
Yeah, you guys are awesome, man. Thanks for being here, and much love and much respect to the chat. You've been a great audience today, and you're the reason this stream has been so epic. So thank you for all your comments, and everyone who has given a donation as well. Much love to you people. Really helps to support the channel and keep on going and producing some good content during the whole week. From 6 a.m. or maybe sometimes 7 a.m. to 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, all depending on what time I start the stream, I guess, right? So hopefully everybody will stay tuned. Tomorrow morning, we will be back with the Grand RiSiNG show number 10. And also stay tuned for later on this evening. We'll be completing the 30-day challenge. Today is day 30 of Be the Best Version of You challenge. So please make sure to stay tuned for that. Click the bell if you're not subbed. If you guys want to see the last show on OTW News for the 30-day challenge. So that challenge will continue on on OTW News and will become just not the 30-day challenge, but Be the Best Version of You challenge continued, right? So that being said, people, much love, much respect. And, I love you all, and I'm really happy, and I'm very satisfied today with the outcome of this broadcast. So thank you, gentlemen, for being here today. And that being said, I'm just going to bring up this thing here.
8 hours.
Right.
Just hit it.
I just realized.
Much love, man. I'm going to get
peace and power and blessings and gratitude.
Thank you.
Love, guys.
So we're gonna go with
happy 420 week, everybody.
Yeah.
Positive vibes, everybody. Especially you, Mark.
Yeah. Let's go. I'm unstoppable. Do the impossible. I'm irresponsible. Yet I'm phenomenal. I got an arsenal. I'm dropping bombs, No, I'm not stopping, no. Conquer the obstacle. To the top, here I go, think I'm chosen to be the king of rock, think the people have spoken. I can hear the tick-tock of the clock, I'm in motion. So now I'm gonna pop, causing all this commotion.
Yeah, sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, ready to go, man, lock and load. That's right, I swear to God that I could drop it, bro. I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, let's go. I don't care what they all say. That's right. I'ma do this thing my way. Let's go. Been grinding hard on it all day. It's okay. We work hard, then we all play. Yeah, I'm addicted to the grind, man. That's right. So I refuse to waste time, man. Yeah, one day it all will be fine, man. Let's go. Gotta commit to the climb. You know we're back with the Guinness, setting records every minute, every track. In addiction to the fact that we're winning, still we lack something's missing. Need a track that is hitting, making racks, making millions. So for rap, that's the mission. I don't waste time, no, I make time. All these people wanna hate, fine, I'ma make mine. While you sitting there complaining, I'll be training. While you sitting there just waiting, I'm creating. Yeah, sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, ready to go, man, lock and load. That's right, I swear to God that I can drop you, bro. Yeah, I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable.
All right. Thank you all for watching.